Hello, bankers. A very good evening to all of you. Welcome back. Welcome to another session. I hope I'm clearly audible and visible to all of you. So, quickly join in so that we can start our today's discussion. All right. So, everyone reached home. I hope I'm clearly audible. Subha sir, very good evening. A very good evening to all of you. Srikant sir, and we have. We have Sanmuga sir here, Rani ma'am is here. A very good evening to all of you guys. कैसे हैं सब लोग? All good? Audio and video is fine from my side. So here in this particular session, again, today we will be starting with the remaining unit of your module A. We will be doing a comprehensive revision, all the 4 modules in detail with number of practice, right? So I hope you guys are watching those concept things and all. And those who have just started without concept, this is something which is kind of an impossible job. So we are trying to cover maximum thing, but still I'll suggest those particular one. So unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, unit 4 and unit 5. These we have already done in our previous session. Today we will be completing 6 to 10 plus we will be entering into module B, right? So anyhow, we have to enter into module B. So please be prepared accordingly, right? So it will take aapka 3 to 4 hours, 4 hours downside aapka, right? So by 11 o'clock, but we will be covering a detail all each and every subtopic of this particular one. We will be covering in this particular one, right? Um, Diksha ma'am is summary classes are not available. Ma'am, somehow managing CIB and job together. The summary classes are already there, huh? Okay. I guess you only text me on the morning, na? So if you'll come to the live section, na, in live section, first 2-3 videos are about the summary. Just after the session, I'll add those particular one. Okay? Just after the session, I'll add in the recorded one also. Okay, so you can go with that particular one. Chalo. Now, we will be starting with our unit 6, which is आपका ECB. So we have many guidelines around this and foreign investment in India. So that is something which is all about your the major concern under this particular one. We have these topic. We have external commercial borrowing concept आपका. Then we have ECB operational concept. We have reporting requirements, right? We have conversion of ECB into equity and foreign investment, including FDI and FIS. So these are the areas which is generally part of this particular one. Like it is, Subhasa, it is just for a few days, right? So it is something ki once you manage for the like you will feel like you're preparing for UPSC for a few days, right? So let's take this particular feeling and try to maximize the learning itself. So guys, when it comes to ECB, this is something an instruments to which Indian companies they are raising funds from outside India, right? So basically, companies they are raising funds आपका in the form of any freely convertible foreign currency, bank loan, or floating fixed rate or trade credits or FCCBs or FCEBs or financials. Now it can be in term of like companies they can raise this particular one just in the form of like it can be issued in the foreign currency or else it can be issued in आपका INR denominated things, right? So that is something which generally आपका commercial loans raised by eligible resident entities from recognized non-resident lenders or means the foreign investors and all, right? So that is something the basic आपका ECB is something the companies they are raising funds from outside India. Now who all are the eligible borrowers? So this is the list आपका all entities which are eligible for FDI or आपका port SEZ and SIDB exim. We have microfinance entities or आपका recognized startup that startup certificate for from the government of India for 7 years and the qualifications also, right? So when it comes to recognized lenders who can invest in ECB आपका or from where these borrowers they can borrow or Indian companies they can borrow money. So international bank, capital market through ADR, GDRs or आपका multilateral financial institution and foreign equity holder. It is also similar to that FDI things. So we have two major route. One is automatic route, where we do not require any prior approval from RBI. The application is directly processed by the authorized dealer category 1 bank. But when it comes to approval route, so it is, as a borrower, you will be applying with authorized dealer category 1 bank, and they'll further send that particular application to RBI for the scrutiny purpose, right? So that is something what generally comes under this particular one. Apart from this, when it comes to the minimum average maturity period, this is something which is bit important. So mostly it is when it comes to ECB, we have a minimum average maturity period of 3 years. If it is without any aapka if and but, these are the if and but. Like if it is manufacturing company, up to 1 year, 50 million. If they are raising up to 50 million, so 1 year can be, yeah. And general or corporate purpose borrowing, or 3 years. Then we have ECB from foreign equity holders for working capital in this 5 years. Yeah. But it is, we have a stake in the business from the foreign equity holders, and the ratio is 7:1. So debt to equity ratio cannot exceed आपका 7:1. And in general purpose, आपका your working capital in general corporate purposes, it is for 10 years and all. Now, when it comes to the negative list, means from like where you cannot use that like proceed itself, right? So if you are raising funds from ECB, so you cannot use that money for real estate activities, investment in capital market, and aapka equity investment. So these are the areas for this one, right? So this is something which is bit important. So please do remember this one. The limit earlier, it was 750 million per financial year for the normal. For normal companies, it was 750 million dollars or equivalents per financial year. But RBI, government, they generally increase this particular one to 1 billion US dollar or its equivalents. And the another condition is net worth limit आपका total outstanding borrowing from both internal and external and domestic, up to 300% of company's net worth. So it is आपका as per the last audited balance sheet itself. So this is the new things आपका which we added here itself, right? Then this point is again important. In case a foreign currency denominated ECB can be raised आपका direct foreign equity holders, but it cannot exceed 7:1. The another point आपका, ठीक है, so it is ECB borrowers are also they can park the ECB proceed in आपका with the authorized dealer category 1 bank, but the maximum is आपका 12 months, and it should be unencumbered. Form ECB2 is the another case in this one. Now, apart from this, there is one another आपका important documents which we have to take from the RBI, that is your LRN, right? So LRN, this is something ki before the drawdown from that ECB amount, you have to take approvals from the RBI, and you have, again, your route will be the form ECB2. You will be form ECB, you will be going through the your authorized dealer bank, and then they'll pass on to RBI within 7 working days, and then आपका they can utilize that particular money for the purposes itself. So that is something which is generally part of this. The another important part आपका which is your when it comes to the foreign investment, so the 10% rule, please do remember this. FDI आपका direct investment, it is generally in private companies, we do not have assess any sort of restrictions around the ownership things, right? In case of in आपका when it is a listed company, so it is आपका 10% of the listed company's equity shares on fully diluted basis. That is the condition for this one. But you also have to remember this particular golden rule, right? This is clear to everyone now. So this we have to this we have discussed आपका, right? So this is something which you have to remember, because sometimes they'll try to trap you with this particular condition. FPI, when it comes to FPIs, it is आपका investment by person resident outside India less than 10% of the paid up equity capital in listed company. So mostly it is आपका short term and others. Negative list, when it comes to FDI, this is आपका bit easy or basic to remember the areas, right? Apart from this is something which you have to go through anyhow. Like a day before the examination, I'll suggest these particular report, because many times they ask question around like we have FCGPR, who is the responsible for this, or the timeline itself, right? So these are some areas which you have to go through at least once and twice, right? Chalo. Now, one last thing, आपका 6 point KYC. So that is something which is the documentation part, very easy one and doable also. Now let's start the practice portion with very first question on your screen, guys. Please quickly go through the question and try to answer this. हाँ, आप काजल मैम, वेरी वेरी गुड इवनिंग. LRN is आपका basically it is a kind of approvals आपका on ECB before, like let's say you are as a company, you have raised money from outside India. Now if you want to draw down that one, means you want to convert that particular proceed into convert in your accounts आपका, and you want to use that particular one for the defined purpose. So in that case, before this particular thing, you have to first take approvals from the RBI, and the route will be same, authorized dealer bank, through which you have raised that particular money, and they'll pass on the application to RBI within 7 days. Then you'll get approvals, and then you can go for that particular one, right? So it is a kind of like a process which we use in this particular one, right? Do not get scared with the statement. Huh? Purpose is we have clear purpose, a comprehensive revision with all the statement and all, right? Last day we will be doing one another set of practice from all the 4 modules. So before that we will be doing one numerical session. So tomorrow we will be आपका try to cover tomorrow for sure we will be covering आपका module B, then CD, then आपका 2 session around one comprehensive revision. I'll be coming up with a small question. I have kept the small question also, but this is something how you build your learning. Okay? I have seen ki, like many people they get scared with the statement things and all. Anyhow, we have to put some efforts toward this one, guys. So when it comes to ECB and the RBI frameworks, the first statement आपका all entities eligible to receive आपका FDI are permitted to raise ECB subject to compliances with ECB framework. True है, without any doubt. Registered microfinance entities such as NGO, trust, societies and cooperative are allowed to raise आपका both foreign currency in this. This point is very very important one, right? So when it comes to this statement itself, this is completely wrong. Why it is wrong? When it comes to the category of NGO, trust, societies and cooperatives, they are not allowed to raise funds through ECB in foreign currency denominated ECB, right? They are only allowed in INR. So INR is allowed, foreign currency is not allowed. Please do remember this particular one. The next one is individual can act as recognized ECB lenders only if the foreign equity holders or when subscribing to the bonds or the debentures of the listed company. This is true आपका, right? So this is आपका, sorry, third one, आपका third statement I missed. ECB proceed can be used for working capital purpose. Is borrowing is foreign equity holders, yes. Foreign branches or subsidiaries of Indian bank are permitted to act as recognized lenders for the both foreign currency and this. No, not for both आपका, right? For INR they are not eligible. For foreign currency denominated, yes. Manufacturing sector companies are permitted to raise ECB up to 1 year. This is true है. The next one is for INR denominated ECB, all in cost ceiling आपका rate is 450 basis point and benchmark is आपका, this is again आपका the 13467 what you guys suggesting, Srikant sir, Saras sir and Rani ma'am? D 13467, 100%. So option D should be right answer for this one. So statement 2 is incorrect here. Microfinance entities such as NGO, trust, societies and cooperative are permitted only to raise INR denominated ECB. The fifth statement is wrong. Foreign branches only foreign currency, not INR. Rest all statements are correct here, right? Next one, guys. Next one. Okay, Srikant sir is saying option A. Other people also. ECB include both foreign currency denominated borrowing and INR raised from the recognized lender. Minimum average maturity period is normally 3 years, ठीक है? But eligible resident entities can raise आपका shorter period. Eligible means आपका those manufacturing companies. Plain vanilla rupee denominated bonds issued overseas, whether privately placed or the listed qualify for the INR denominated areas or the ECB borrowings. Foreign currency convertible bonds and foreign currency exchangeable bonds are excluded from the definition of ECB. No, just now we have gone through this. ECB raise आपका under the automatic route are examined by the authorized dealer bank, while approval route आपका require prior approval from RBI, and they are routed through the AD only, right? AD category 1. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5 means 100% option A will be right answer. This was very basic question, right? Just now we talk about this particular one, right? Chalo. Next question, guys. Very good. Well done. Which of the following statement regarding ECB reporting and conversion into equity are correct? ECB reporting and conversion into your equity are correct. So what will be your correct answer? So ECB can be drawn down immediately after entering into a loan agreements, even before obtaining LRN, provided आपका intimation is sent to RBI within 30 days. Now, when it comes to this particular statement, the first statement is wrong here. Prior to आपका LRN approvals or LRN number, you cannot use that particular one, right? So loan registration number is must आपका, then only you can draw down that particular one. So then the next one is ECB2 return must be submitted by the borrowers on monthly basis through the AD category 1 bank and must reach RBI within 7 days from the end of the month. Late submission fee आपका for delayed is it can go up to 1 lakh or it go beyond आपका 3 years also true. So 2 and 3 means option D will be right answer for this particular one. So ECB drawdown can only happen after obtaining the LRN from RBI. That is the one. And I guess this was bit easy question also, right? Now next one. Now onwards, like I have kept some small question also. So like you can easily go through those one. Otherwise, like people get demotivated. So like that is actually not the objective. The objective is like clear is key. We are revising things. Okay. So if I'll come up with two statement or one statement question, that is not going to fulfill our objective or motive, what we want to achieve from this particular paper. So that's why I always keep up multiple statements so that we can have a full edge coverage around that particular topic itself. Next one, guys. Identify which of the following statement is correct regarding the foreign investment under NDI rule and the FEMA regulation. The first question is आपका for FDI include any investment by a person resident outside India in equity instrument and LLP, but only when the when it constitute 10% or more. So in LLP आपका it is not applicable first of all, ठीक है, तो this should be wrong. An investment by person resident outside India in equity instrument listed company initially meet the FDI threshold but subsequently fall below 10% will reclassified as this. This is also wrong, right? Once in FDI, always in FDI. This is the case. Then third one is आपका filing of foreign investment related reporting must be done through the FIRMS portal using the single master form. Today only we discuss around this one. And late submission fee आपका if applicable, this is only true. So option B will be right answer. All are saying option C, option D, different one, right? So option B should be right answer for this one. I guess only Rani ma'am marked the correct answer. So option B, guys. The first one is incorrect. FDI and LLP valid आपका irrespective of any percentage like threshold on this. And when it comes to second statement, once classified as FDI, I gave you an example na, in company XYZ, there is a आपका आपका investor called Mr. X having a stake of 7%. This company was unlisted at that time. Later, after 6 months or 1 year or 2 years, this company got listed. But let's say we have ownership of X is 7% only. So now the question is ki, do we or do this X need to increase the ownership from 7% to 10%? Answer is no, because the case is once in FDI, always in FDI. Please do remember this. Okay, chalo. Next one, guys. So Global Nova Venture, a company incorporated in Singapore, is planning to invest in India across multiple entities and instruments. This, okay, and so first आपका they acquired 30% stake in LLP operating in logistic aggregate through the fully paid up equity shares. Which of the following or above A to D are permissible under the FEMA regulation applicable to this? So it is fully आपका logistic aggregator 30%, acquire 30% in LL listed आपका LLP, operating this, invest in startup entity in Bangalore through the convertible note, repayable within 4 years आपका. This second statement. Okay, it is 12 month or something आपका, not this 4 year वाला clause ना. It should be 12 month आपका, right? The subscribed share warrant issued by mid-size manufacturing company with 30% upfront आपका, minimum 20% is required, 14 month, this is आपका permissible, right? So second one is आपका also permissible. The pledge, sorry, third one आपका, right? Uh, no, third one is not permissible because it is 12 month, not 14 month आपका, right? So this is wrong. The pledge, the equity instrument held in the आपका Indian investee company to secure the business loan from an overseas bank for using the overseas group company and others. This is also permissible because it is overseas company and overseas bank. So what we have to find out in this particular case, which of the above A to D are permissible under this particular one? Means आपका it can be आपका A, this can be invested in entity, convertible notes, repayable after within 4 years. This 4 year timeline is fine क्या? 4 years or something else is there आपका, right? And this is for 12 month or 18 month. ठीक है? It is आपका, it is a share warrant case actually. It should be 18 month. 12 month is basically for the equity आपका, the partly paid आपका equity shares, and the next one is pledge the equity, and this is आपका, right? So means आपका third one should be wrong in this particular case. Others should be correct ना? We'll check the answer itself. What you, not 4 years, it is आपका. So this is the case आपका, no about not this is आपका startup and convertible notes. It is about the convertible notes repayable on the convertible within this. Okay, I'll check the answer for this one. आपका we have, okay, we'll just go through the statement. I'm getting a bit confused. The first one is permissible. That is second one is permissible. Convertible note for startup allow repayable convertible within the 5 years. So it was आपका 4 month. ठीक है, 4 years. This is आपका fine. This is fine. This was fine. Then why option C is wrong? For sure this 14 month वाला case. In case of sure warrants आपका it is 18 month, right? So it is आपका 18 months and 25%. However, 20 it is required, but that is they have already made आपका 30%, so that is not an issue. But issue is with timeline itself, right? So 18 months, so that's why it is not permissible. Then आपका D, pledging the overseas shares for this one is allowed. So only statement wrong is आपका option this. Correct है? Now it is fine, guys. Everyone, A, B, आपका A, B and D. Yeah, that is the true statement for this one. So that's why option B is the correct answer. Morning only we have gone through these particular limits and others, huh? So please do remember those particular one, right? 25% आपका, see, it is 25% minimum. ठीक है, it is आपका 25% minimum, but it is they have already आपका paid how much? 30%. That is downside. 25% is downside. So company has already made the upfront payment of 30%. So remaining 70% they have to make the payment within 18 months आपका, ठीक है, that is the case आपका, okay. That is the case आपका in this one. It is not 14 months, it is आपका 12 months, sorry 18 month आपका, this is आपका 18 months and rest is आपका, this is within 5 years and they are making the payment within 4 years. That's why it is also correct. So this is also correct, Rani ma'am. So the case is invest in a startup in NRI Bangalore, convertible notes and repayable or convertible within 4 years. It should be within 5 years. So आपका, if they are doing in 4 years, so that is also fine in this one, right? Option B only will be the correct answer for this one. A, B, D. So in this also what they have, the guideline says maximum side, maximum within 5 years. Like we gone through that equity wala case na, कि आपका upfront 25%, remaining 75% within the 12 months, or in case of share warrant it is 18% and this is the आपका age. So this is the different areas and others which generally covered in this one. Okay, got it guys? Shall we move forward? Rani ma'am, this is clear? If you're having any other doubt, so I'll go back to the, you just go through this question, I'll search that PPT if I got. Morning we discussed this particular one. No, I guess I missed from here आपका. So XYZ Private Limited can change the currency of ECB from the USD to INR without requiring prior approval from RBI. हाँ, that is like when they are issuing आपका, that is their case. हाँ, statement one is true. Why statement one is true आपका? This is a case आपका, they can issue in your foreign currency or INR आपका denominator, ठीक है? You do not have to take permission for that particular one. So मतलब ECB can be INR denominated or USD आपका. So since the ECB raised from the direct foreign equity holders, debt to equity ratio amount cannot exceed to 7 आपका is to 1. ECB proceed for rupee expenditure can be temporarily parked. No. In case of rupee expenditures, आपका you have to immediately repatriate those particular one आपका, right? Foreign currency can be for up to 12 months. Refinancing of the existing ECB is permissible only if the outstanding maturity of ECB is not reduced and all-in cost आपका for the fresh ECB is lower. That is also true. XYZ Private Limited can draw down ECB amount before obtaining LRN. आपका wrong. So 1, 2 and 4. 1, 2 and 4 means option C should be right answer for this particular one. Correct guys? Option C will be right answer for this one. Next one. So consider the following statement relating to reporting requirements of ECB and conversion of ECB into equity. So when it comes to, so first drawdown from ECB आपका which is permitted. Now I guess everyone can remember this particular one. ECB आपका 2 or form ECB2 written reporting of ECB transaction must be submitted monthly, AD आपका within 7 days, and this is also correct आपका. Third statement, delay in ECB reporting आपका late submission fee 10,000 to 1 lakh, and it can be beyond 3 years also. Conversion of ECB into equity permitted only under government approvals, no automatic also. The next one is ECB borrower has availed the credit facility from the Indian bank. Conversion of ECB into equity compliance with the RBI prudential norms, including obtaining consent from the lenders. That is also true. So 1, 2, 3, 5 means option B will be right answer for this particular. B will be correct answer. Okay? So option B will be right answer in this particular case, not D. Next one, guys. Next one. Which of the following statement are correct regarding the foreign investment and downstream investment in India? What will be your correct answer, guys? So when it comes to आपका downstream investment, it is a form of indirect investment only, right? So an Indian company receiving foreign investment and owned or controlled by a person resident outside India is permitted to make downstream investment, which shall be treated as indirect investment. True. The second one is a downstream investment made by the investment vehicle whose manager is owned or controlled by the resident Indians citizen will be treated as foreign investment. No, this should be wrong. Means आपका A only should be right answer for this one. The downstream investment by the investment vehicle is considered foreign investment only if the manager or sponsor own control is resident outside India, not आपका Indian citizen in others, right? So that is something which generally comes under this particular one. Correct, guys? Next one. This is related to your reporting requirements, right? So the list I have shown you, right? So this also get asked. Last time only they asked this particular question. So please do take care around this. So ABC Private Limited, an Indian company, undertook the following transaction during 26-27. So April आपका 26, it issue equity shares to a person resident outside India under the FDI. Then आपका 26, it converted a part of the ECB into equity. 26 आपका a resident shareholders transferred shares to a non-resident investors for the consideration received on the same day. The company had outstanding FDI of 31st March this, and due to this particular one, right? So now based on the above, examine the following statement and you have to find out the correct one related to your different reports itself, right? Srikant sir is saying option B. Okay, the first one is the issue of equity shares on April 26 and conversion is equity required form FCGPR to be filled within आपका 30 days in respective of आपका from the respective date आपका, that is true. I'll go back to that one now. I'll show you that thing. So this is your the list itself, right? I'll keep this particular one with the question itself. So whenever you revise, you can easily go through this particular one, right? So first statement आपका which is related to your form GPR, right? So that is 100% true here. Second statement, the transfer of to this require form TRS to the to be submitted within 60 days. That is also true, right? So when it comes to TRS आपका, it is need to be submitted within 60 days आपका. So second statement is also correct here. When it comes to the third statement, ABC Private Limited outstanding on this require FLA written on the on or before this particular one. ABC. This should be correct, right? So this should be correct. आपका FLA written is your like if they are having, so it is before the 15th of July, right? So it is before 15th July, and it is आपका March for this one written before 15th July. So exact date is mentioned here. So that is also correct. Next one is the responsibility of filing TRS given to mandatory with the resident transfer irrespective of the agreement between parties. No, it is not resident transfer only. We have the aapka, it can be filed by the, so in case of when it comes to this resident transferor, transferee, or a person resident outside India. So it is mostly aapka, mostly it goes to responsibility of aapka non-resident, and it is not mandatory, it is depend on the contract itself. So this is wrong. The fifth one is for the delayed TRS reporting involving 80 lakhs, the maximum LRS applicable would be 10 lakh or 300% of the amount involved in this particular one, whichever is lower, subject to doubling this one. This I have to check. Okay. So with options, you can eliminate this one. This amount is mentioned somewhere. Okay? We have gone through this amount delay wala thing, but I'm not sure about this. Okay, this is also correct. So since the amount involved आपका up to 1 crores, LSF will be 0.50% of the subject of maximum 10 lakh or 300% of amount involved, whichever is lower with the percentage doubling for every 12-month of delay itself, right? So this is the provision for this particular statement, means this is also true. So means आपका option B is the correct answer, means the importance of this particular slide itself, right? Last time they asked question around this particular one only. Like sometimes they also go for these kind of things. So please do remember this one, huh? Just try to remember आपका. I know like no one can exactly recall the areas and all, but this is something like if you'll remember आपका, if you'll go through once and twice na, so that will help you. Which of the following statement about the minimum average maturity period and all-in cost? So the fixed rate ECB swap plus spread not exceed आपका floating rate applicable to this applicable to the spread. आपका this is true for startup regardless of the end use. The minimum average maturity period is आपका 3 years. This is also correct now. 1 and 2 means आपका D should be correct answer for, sorry, C is the correct answer. अच्छा okay, C, अच्छा okay, this is mentioned आपका neither or this, both आपका statement both statement are correct, means C is the right answer. Sorry, ठीक है, statement is आपका both the statement which are given in that particular one are correct, right? So this is about your ECB. Now next one we have risk in foreign trade and role of ECGC. So here we have first side is around the question which we can expect around the risk in foreign trade, what different type of risks are involved in foreign trade. The another or the most important area is ECGC product. ECGC product, one question for sure it will be around the different type of schemes आपका, ठीक है, and the ECGC product for bank and the claim part आपका, right? So these are three important areas from your आपका another side. So one general question around the risk itself, another question is around your आपका what it is called the आपका that is the product claim or product for bank and others. So now when it comes to risk involved in foreign trade, we have two type of major risk. One is commercial risk. Commercial risk is something about the आपका buyer risk, sellers and others, shipping or operational in this. The major risk is आपका for these particular one we have other insurance companies also. But when it comes to your the major risk, that is your external threat or the country or political risk. ठीक है, country or political risk means buyer want to make the payment, but due to the country-wide situation or the restrictions, he won't be able to make that particular payment. So when it comes to the policies, like we have comprehensive policy, so it will be covering both. But when it is only a political risk only, so it will be covering the political risk only. It won't cover the commercial risk. So basically, what companies do, if they have commercial coverage from some other entities, they go for one side. Otherwise, the standard policy, which is part of this. So externalization issues, आपका political fluidity और legal आपका uncertainty and economic policy of the country. These are some major areas which generally contribute to the country risk. One another part आपका the risk grading by the ECGC. So sometimes they ask question around this. So ECGC will generally release this particular country-wise risk grade आपका on quarterly basis. So A1 means आपका the insignificant risk. आपका we having some sort of good relation with them. When it comes to D आपका very highly risk. So accordingly, the premium will also get charged from this particular one. ECGC, we all know, right? If you haven't, please go through that document itself. Aapka. Now, when it comes to the one of the most important part, that is ECGC product for the exporters. So we have a list of aapka product. So these are like mostly we have standard policy, but apart from this, we have small exporter policy also for the small exporters. Shipment specific, where we have export on deferred payment. We have आपका इंश्योरेंस फॉर बायर क्रेडिट एंड लाइन ऑफ क्रेडिट, सर्विसेज रेंडर टू आपका फॉरेन पार्टीज, कंस्ट्रक्शन वर्क एंड ट्रंकी प्रोजेक्ट अब्रॉड. वी हैव एक्सपोर्टर्स स्पेसिफिक बायर पॉलिसी और टर्नओवर पॉलिसी एंड बायर एक्सपोजर पॉलिसी, कंसाइनमेंट, मल्टी बायर्स, IT enable, and we have policy for MSMEs. So these are the policies which are offered by the ECGC to the your directly to the exporters. Now the another case is where they are routing, like this is ECGC also provide some sort of protection to the bank also, so that they can provide timely and adequate credit to these particular exporters. So here when it comes to ECGC insurance product for bank, this is again very very important. The export credit insurance आपका whole turnover for packing credit, pre-shipment. Then we have production finance और आपका पोस्ट शिपमेंट्स. वी हैव फाइनेंस गारंटी, परफॉर्मेंस इंडेमनिटी, एक्सपोर्ट फाइनेंस एंड आपका ट्रांसफर गारंटी. तो दीज आर द पॉलिसीज. आई हाईली रिकमेंड दिस पर्टिकुलर वन कि प्लीज गो थ्रू दिस पर्टिकुलर वन वंस एंड ट्वाइस, तो दैट विल हेल्प यू. तो स्टैंडर्ड पॉलिसी which cover आपका most of the insurance policy, and with standard policy we have many riders kind of, they are linked with the specific issues, you know, right? So it is generally from the date of contract to date of shipment. It include आपका it has two variant. One is आपका comprehensive, which will be covering commercial as well as political risk. When it is आपका political only, so it will be covering only political risk and all. The critical exclusion from these ECGC policies are commercial dispute, quality issue, exchange rate fluctuation, buyer failure to obtain आपका import from the authorities, or exposure negligence and others. So that is something which generally part of this. Chat, what it is actually? आपका अच्छा, this chart or chat something I am just missing. Srikant sir, you talking about this chart? This chart shows the standard policy. Okay? So when it comes to the standard policies of the ECGC, so they generally provide आपका, we have two variant. One is the common one is आपका comprehensive. So this comprehensive, it include आपका commercial as well as political risk. Okay? So like let's say if any exporter is taking some sort of insurance आपका under the standard policy from the ECGC, so if that policy is comprehensive, it will be covering आपका commercial as well as political risk. Apart from these activities will be excluded. Rest all things will be covered under that particular one, right? So that is something. Standard policy cover आपका insolvency, protect the default, 4-month आपका and reputations for this. So this is something की of a basic policy of ECGC. How ECGC, this is insurance policy. This is simple a general insurance policy, right? So and if any exporter is taking आपका comprehensive standard policy of ECGC, so it will cover all the risk except this particular. That is the general meaning for this one. And this 4 month clause is mostly whatever the due date it is, if they are not receiving that money, if by default, so after 4 months they can claim to ECGC for the money itself. Srikant sir got it. So apart from this, this is आपका first the most common policy. Now we have ECGC have many other policies also, the small policies which generally help in this case, right? So when it comes to the areas आपका, that is clear, Srikant sir and other also guys. If you having any doubt, please do let me know. So when it comes to the other policies like small exporter policy for turnover, like those who having turnover less than 50 lakh, 12 months आपका ठीक है term, improve the areas of this. आपका export turnover policy earlier it was 10 lakh, now it is आपका 20 lakh. Just please do remember this one. So this is something की this is for the value exporters, those who are contributing high amount of premium to the आपका ECGC. Their premium contribution to ECGC is आपका more than 20 lakhs in previous financial year. So they are having some kind of benefit आपका. SME, so 90% cover of administrative conveyance, simple आपका 12 months coverage, IT enable also 80%. Then we have pre-shipments for bank and post-shipment. In pre-shipment, cover the loan of for the manufacturing in this. If we our bank have given some sort of packing credit loan to some exporters, so that loan is get insured by the ECGC आपका, right? And in case of आपका post credit, we have discounted the receivables. In that particular case, आपका we have a post shipment cover ECIB WTPS, that is the case. Apart from this, we have performance indemnity, export finance. So if we are providing these kind of facilities to exporters, they get आपका protected by the ECGC. So basically ECGC is something which is आपका like it is providing some sort of assurance to our bank. You focus on lending and we will focus on the your आपका like if in case if any exporter defaulted, so we will make sure कि you will get your money. So that is something which generally comes under this one. And when it comes to the operational, this is again we have a risk sharing here, but maximum risk आपका 80 to 95% is borne by the ECGC. Like let's say your bank have given loan to some exporter 1 crore rupees, suppose that, and that buyer defaulted. In that case 90 lakh is paid by the आपका ECGC, 10 remaining 10 lakh will be paid by the bank. That is a risk sharing in this case. If one line, if a policy is political, it will cover only political risk. Yes, 100% true. So political means the political risk and country risk both are same. Please do not get confused with those particular one. Okay, done hai guys. So shall we start with the practice portion? आपका claim वाला portion is also bit important, right? So claim आपका when it comes to the claim areas and all. So this morning we have discussed the another slide. So we'll go through this. So due date of payments, 4 month आपका notice for default deadlines, 12 months claim from the submission of deadline. Limit आपका claim, this please remember this one, ठीक है? So only 4 default आपका per policy period. And payment flow ECGC will pay to the bank, and if they have some advances they can deduct those particular one. Recovery settlement does not relieve the exporter of recovery duty. Okay, so recovery is shared on pro rata ground itself. So that is something which generally comes under the claim part itself. Understood? We will be practicing questions. So let's start with the first question itself. I guess you guys are nowadays motivating the people who preparing for JIB, na? Like I'm getting many queries. JIB people are like very motivated. If we want to do this, and after we want to learn things, not just pass this paper. Srikant sir, what do you say? Subhash sir, huh? Who is motivating them? They are like queries are like we want to learn, we do not just want to pass. I guess these people having very less आपका workload at the place, huh? चलो तो consider the following statement about the ECGC Limited and export आपका credit insurance. The first one is ECGC Limited wholly owned subsidiary of Government of India. This is true. Second one is ECGC function under the Ministry of Finance. No, it comes under आपका Ministry of Commerce and Industry, right? It comes under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Board of Director for ECGC include representative from the government, RBI, insurance, and this true hai. The next one is ECGC exporter against both political and this commercial risk. Yes, true hai. The next one is export credit insurance eliminate all associated risk. No, commercial आपका like let's say the operational risk and or आपका strategic risk they did not get covered under this one. So 134 is means option A is the right answer for this one. So incorrect. It comes under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. And the fourth one is आपका mitigate risk but does not eliminate the all the risk आपका, right? So that is the case in this particular one. Acha, you are also in same line, huh? Means you are the person who is motivating them, huh? You guys are like very, very, what I say, very highly motivated people, huh? And you are motivating your juniors also in the branches. I got two queries after back to back today. Like they are saying, ki, sir, we just want to learn things, not just pass this exam. And then they have one another query also, ki, like if they'll आपका pass with good marks, bank will refund the money or not. Victor Broom theory, अच्छा जी. सही है. So which of the following statement risk आपका faced by the transaction can be faced by the transaction? तो first statement आपका the possibility of non-payment due to buyer inability to remit the funds because forex restrictions represent a legal risk. The second one delay in movement of the documents and cargo due to आपका workers strike and others. Yes, I'm just going through these particular statement only. Huh? Strengthening to the INR against dollar between shipment and realization of proceed give rise in exchange risk आपका. This is also correct. The next one is buyer offer future orders to competitors because of the better pricing caused by the weaker competitor currency reflect in the market. Buyers offer future orders to competitors because of the better price caused by the weaker competitors. This can be true, right? The next one is the risk arising from the non-acceptance or delay payments by the buyers due to financial stress in the country आपका is credit risk. No, this is आपका last one is risk arising from the non-acceptance or delay payments by the buyers financial stress uh, in their country is आपका. This can be right आपका. The statement is like it can be country risk also and it can be your आपका obligor risk also, buyer risk also, default credit risk. 1 2 3 4 5 means how it can be country आपका when the country is not having the forex reserve and other, so that can आपका that can create some issues around this particular one. ठीक है. Forex restrictions comes, it is, see, when it there is two areas. One, when restrictions is imposed by the government, it is legal or changes in law itself. And when it comes to the forex risk is आपका when there is a price movement in the currency, that is forex risk. So that is market driven. One is market driven, which is forex risk. Another one is government driven, or the basically the initiatives which is taken by the government itself. So that's why that got categorized in the another category itself, right? So that is the case in this particular one. Okay, go for this one. Ramaji sir is not there, kya? Today Ramaji sir is not. Durgesh sir, Ramaji sir, where these people gone? Still in office or watching silently? Ramaji sir is watching very silently, huh? Still in office, kya sir? And Durgesh sir, where is Durgesh sir? He is not there. Shruti ma'am, why you guys are not answering? Branch. So the overseas buyer delay payments citing doubt over the product quality. The shipping company handling the goods in this. Some goods are damaged. आपका additional sudden depreciation in currency in this. Now the question is based on this. Correct statement related to type of risk why limited has आपका encountered in this one. I guess this is also a bit easy question, right? So the delay payments by the buyer related to buyer risk and specific credit and quality acceptance risk आपका, this is two. The second one, shipping risk and others are delivery of the goods. Shipping risk आपका, this is also correct. Third one is currency depreciation, currency risk or foreign exchange fluctuation. The fourth one is the concern about the fraudulent documents and other आपका, which generally categorize other one. This is also true. Since Y face आपका multiple risk, the risk reduce automatically over the time period. No, they have to take measure or action around that one. This will not automatically will get covered आपका. Option D will be right answer, easy one. So risk reduce over time only when parties build trust in others. That is the clause for this one, right? Not automatically in this particular case itself, right? Next one, guys. Now Durgesh sir also join, I guess. So export credit insurance help exporter and financing bank to covering the losses arising from political and commercial risk in export transaction. Export insurance ECGC government आपका, this is very easy one. Export credit usually cover 100% of the default risk, requiring no loss sharing आपका, no. This is they do have sharing आपका, ठीक है. So 75 to 80% or 85% uh, आपका 80 to 90% by ECGC, but rest आपका which is generally by these particular parties itself, right? So 1 and 2 only means A will be correct answer for this particular one, right? So A should be right answer for this particular one. Next one, guys. $80 to 95%. So ECGC and its services policies. So ECGC offer insurance cover to exporter against the commercial and political risk. The another one is आपका small exporter policy by ECGC is an enhanced version of standard policy to small exporters. Then next one is ECGC provide export credit insurance for banks that cover whole turnover both at the packing credit and the post shipments, right? Specific shipment policy offered by ECGC cover uh, export risk only related to goods excluding आपका services. No, it include these particular one also. They should be wrong. The next one is ECGC refer to factoring facility for MSMEs. Yes, morning only we discuss around factoring facilities are also available. 1, 2, 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 5 means option B will be right answer for this particular one. B will be right answer. Sir, option B will be right answer. This is आपका wrong here, right? Rest all are correct. चलो next one guys. Small exporter policy and specific shipment short term policy are correct. Now this is the challenge. Answer this question guys. The small exporter policy cover insolvency of the buyer and failure to pay within 2 months from the due date. Small exporter policy 2 months and आपका standard 4 months, right? This was the time, na? The date of this, but does not cover it is not get covered under this one. True है. The specific shipment short-term policy can cover commercial and political risk for the shipment made under the contract where the exporter does not hold comprehensive shipment policy. This is also true. Both policies cover the losses due to commercial dispute raised by the आपका buyer without requiring a decree. So court decree is required. Basically, this is kind of an evidence आपका to prove that particular one. The small exporter policy can be for a period of 24 months. No, it is for आपका small exporter policy is for 12 months only, right? So this is wrong. Political risk cover under both include war, civil war, revolution, आपका imposition of import restriction and additional freight cost and this true. So 1, 2, 5. 1, 2, 5 means option B should be right answer for this particular one. So option B. Why you are saying आपका this? So this is आपका. This is not about that standard policy. This is about small exporter policy और आपका specific shipment short term policy. ठीक है? This is your case. हाँ. Please do remember this. Small exporter policy and आपका this one. Which statement you guys are saying? Srikant sir, can you please आपका tell the name of the statement so I can. These are the two policies which are generally part of that one. Huh? So any doubt, please do let me know. So I'll try to help in that case. The small exporter policy cover insolvency, failure to pay आपका within 2 months, but exclude the exchange rate things. This is the one. Second statement. Okay. Specific shipment short-term policy. This is a आपका this is not your that standard. Though see, standard policy is another one. It's a bigger policy. Or this is we have a for the specific shipment short-term policy which cover the commercial and आपका political risk under the shipment other without a comprehensive thing. This is the feature of this policy itself. So for this kind of line, you have to go through that PDF again. Huh? So even in that mind map also it is not there. But what we have done during the first one, so that is the case. So this is the comprehend that was what we have read in that one. That was a standard policy. That is different. And आपका short term policy or the turnover policy or others, they are having a different areas. ठीक है? I have kept like in first session or that module wala session which I have shared in that one, I have kept all the concept areas. So all these particular policies are given in that one. So please go through that particular one once. Next one. Okay. So one question around all the ECGC policies, claim settlement and others. Do not get scared with the statement. Very easy, doable. I'll check if I have kept this that notes here also. I mostly no, I guess, in this case. In this case, it is. Shreyan sir, you want to say something? Can you please text Apka? Can you write your message? So let's go through the statement. The exporter must ensure the ECGC policy remain valid and continuous so that all shipments are covered without any break. The exporter must ensure ECGC policy remain valid during that particular period. Okay. So like let's say if any contingency happened, that's during that period there should be all the premium and others are valid in that case. Maximum liability under ECGC policies should be adequate to cover the total outstanding dues from all overseas buyer or the bank at the point of time, right? So it should be in the favor of the exporter. Means premium deposit with the ECGC can be maintained only after the shipment. No, it is premium is basically advance things after, like when we take the insurance policy, so it should be paid in advance. Then we have exporter holding whole turnover policy can access ECGC buyer database by using a customer ID and the password. This facility is available for the whole turnover policy. Then we have next one, shipment can be affected even without आपका approve of credit limits or the loss limit, provided the buyer has a good payment history. Shipment can be affected आपका even shipment can be affected even without approval, or this should be wrong, right? Based on that only creditworthiness, it should not be आपका true, right? Next one, export to the receipt proceed from the restricted cover countries require specific approval. Restricted countries, yes. The next one is shipment declaration for the export made in month must be submitted after before 15th of the month. Shipment declaration for 15th of the next month, this should be correct. The next one is filing the ECGC claim overseas. Claim आपका absolve the exporter further recovery. No, in claim वाला portion we talk around this particular one. This is wrong. Claim amount मतलब like you are getting money through the bank itself, but it is like for exporter it is like not key your obligation will be ended at that point. You have to keep trying to recover that money from the buyers. Claim amounts settled in ECGC are paid directly to the bank, handle export documents, and the further recoveries are shared with the ECGC on pro rata ground. So 12467, 12467, then आपका not 8, 124, no, 12467 and 9 means option D na? Yes, very good. So option D will be right answer for this particular one. So all the statements आपका related to your these two topics we have covered in this one, claim including claim. So ECGC require exporter to maintain sufficient advance premium deposit based on the projected turnover. Then आपका shipment must be covered by the valid export limit, loss limit and single loss limit before the dispatch. And even after the claim is filed or settled, exporter must continue recovery efforts and others. That generally comes under this one. What role do discretionary limit play in the context of ECGC policy and the financial guarantee? Very easy one, guys. बताइए, what is DL limit? Morning only we discuss around this one. Quickly, guys, everyone. Sir is saying B and आपका sir is saying D. चलो, I'll go through the both the statement. Bank can permit finance up to DL limit without seeking prior approval from ECGC clearances, but must do for the over amount. That is, first statement is true. DL specify the deadline by the bank shall provide the ECGC with a monthly declaration. No, wrong. What was DL limit? Charani ma'am and others. DL limit is like आपका discretionary limit or the power of the bank up to what? Like let's say if we have so suppose that if it is 1 crore, I give you an example now. So if there is a exporter who is seeking export finance, let's say for 70 lakh, the bank can itself approve this one without sending the prior approval things or document to the ECGC. But if it is आपका the customer is asking for 1.20 crores, in this case they have to send it to the ECGC and others. So that is something which generally part of this one. Okay. First statement where आपका D नहीं I intention okay. People mention B or D, na? That's why we have gone through this. DL denote the highest level of protection to the ECGC will permit by any finance or export transaction. No, this statement is also wrong, right? The protection can be higher than that also. So that is the case. Shiva sir, the option B. So DL limit are essential component of ECGC financial guarantee. In regulations, DL stand for the highest level of cover provide आपका finance export transaction without obtaining आपका ECGC consent. In another word, this is आपका bank are not required to seek individual approval from the ECGC for this particular one. Export need more money आपका, so ECGC permission will be required in this particular case. Clear है ना everyone? Small point but आपका bit important. Sometimes they ask what was the statement. See why statement A is wrong. DL denote the highest level of protection that ECGC will permit of for any finance and export transaction. The statement is like why this statement is wrong, because it is saying ki even for the ECGC this is the maximum limit. DL is usually for the bank ki up to how much they can आपका sanction, right? If the customer is asking beyond than that, so if then for the scrutiny purpose, ECGC will go through the documents. So that is the case in this one. Clear, guys? Shall we move forward? Next one. Okay. Now, unit number 8. Unit number 8 is full of practice only, right? So it is आपका role of exam, RBI and others. So completely आपका practice driven, because these things we have आपका discussed many times, right? The policies and the other areas which generally comes under this one, right? So when it comes to these are the three core areas: RBI as a regulators, and EXIM is a आपका facilitator or refinancer, and the standardizer means Foreign Exchange Dealer Association of India, because things are happening in foreign trade, so Forex is involved, so that's why we have active involvement from the this particular one also, correct? So ECGC, which generally provide the financing things to the आपका exporters, right? So we have different areas like line of credit or the project export, and your export bill discounting, Usain's period 180 days, refinance of export credit, participate with the bank in issuance of guarantee itself, and आपका bank can when it comes to a deferred limit आपका, ठीक है, so these are the deferred payment guarantee kind of DL for these areas. And when it comes to the LOC आपका, ठीक है, line of credit which is provided by the government to the another nation, and where they are purchasing or procuring goods from our country's exporter, right? Project export आपका for the higher project like turnkey project and others, which generally comes under this one, right? So this is something. Yes, ECGC is equal to insurance. The next one, what we have in this case, FEMA versus FERA, LRS scheme आपका, hope you remember these particular one, right? And when it comes to the FEMA provision for the countries, no withdrawal is required for Nepal and Bhutan. Rupee equivalent exceed आपका 50,000 payments through the check only. cross check. During the abroad visit, one can carry 3,000 or equivalent dollars. ठीक है? And for Libya and Iraq, it is 5,000 US dollar. For Iran and आपका for Iran and Russia, there is access no limit आपका, right? Indian citizen can retain and possess a foreign currency up to 2,000 US dollar or equivalents. Above than that, you have to surrender आपका once you come back to India. Regulatory Review Authority, bit important one आपका, right? So one was in like this one was in 2021. The one was after regulatory review authority was 99 or something, right? I just missed the date. So these are some reporting architectures. Okay? So we have these different reports आपका which we have to submit. Like this is the complete list आपका. Last time there was one question around this one also. Huh? So this is something key when you are, these are the FEMA guidelines. If आपका any parties are entering into the foreign exchange and others, so they have to आपका they have to provide they have to report to RBI through these particular one, right? So these particular reports आपका and the timelines and others which generally comes under this 1999, yes. Then apart from this we have ODI आपका overseas direct investment made by Indians, the Indians who make investment outside India. So that is your ODI. The ODI overall journey is in three part itself, which is generally part of this particular one. Now, okay, let's start the practice with first question on your screen, guys. Tomorrow morning we will be completing module B at 7 p.m. 7 a.m. Because 12 is done. 13 will take time. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 can be done आपका in a speed manner, right? So then evening we will be practicing module B. Today also we will be entering into module B. Then आपका module B 2 unit we'll try today itself. Okay? So unit 12 we will discuss here only. So 13 will take time. So we will आपका it will take almost, for revision also it will take 40 minute to 45 minute. Then other can be आपका doable easily, right? चलो, so now what will be your correct answer? So when it comes to the EXIM in India and the guidelines, role and function, the first one is EXIM bank can extend long-term financial assistance to Indian exporters to enhance international competitiveness through the concessional term loan and others. That is the case, 100% true. Exim Bank is empowered to arrange line of credit to foreign government to promote export of Indian goods and the services. That is also true. Providing short-term working capital finance for purely domestic trade transaction is a core mandate of Exim. No, this is आपका not the core one. ठीक है. Short-term working capital finance आपका, that is even not the case itself, right? This should be wrong. Exim Bank support the exporter not only through the finance but also providing information, research, advisory line and others. True है. Selective support for the production, marketing and the financing of the Indian product to address the export related challenges aligned with the exim आपका areas and all. This is also correct, right? So means 1245. 1245 means option C must be right answer for this particular one. Very good, guys. So option C, exim primarily आपका oriented toward the export. It is not, it's merely related to this particular one. Next one, guys. So Exim Bank provide long-term credit line to foreign government. This is true. Indian exporters आपका receive pre-shipment finance only after obtaining an order and confirm आपका letter from the Exim. Then we have exporter must submit shipping documents through their regular banks to claim the reimbursement from this. All are correct, yeah? 1, 2, 3. A should be right answer for this one. Anything wrong here? Exim Bank provide long-term credit line for the foreign government, allowing Indian exporter to receive upfront payment. What you guys suggesting? D, 3 and 1. Okay, I'm also a bit doubtful about this one. Huh? I'll erase my answer. We'll check the answer only. Okay, it is आपका option B. First statement is wrong here. Exim Bank give credit line to the foreign government. Indian exporter get upfront credit from the Exim Bank after submission of documents, not upfront आपका from the foreign government. Okay, this is the route for this one, guys. Please do remember this. And आपका second exporter need both the order and letter of line from the Exim Bank to proceed with the pre-shipment finance. That was correct. And the shipment documents must be routed through the regular bank. That is also correct, right? So this is the true आपका explanation for this one. Means आपका 2 and 3, right? 2 and 3 is the right answer for this. You can exclude this story because it is about the Exim Bank and extend. Okay, you have to read, I guess. So buyer credit from Exim Bank can be extended to the foreign project company to facilitate deferred payments for the importing Indian goods and services for the water treatment project. Buyer credit from Exim Bank can be extended. Others should be correct, right? Second one is your buyer credit provided by Exim Bank can be used by overseas buyer to import the goods from any other country. No, this is wrong. Aapka from India only, right? So the next one is, since buyer credit transaction are non-LC based, India Tech can save on LC cost aapka and reduce the transaction complexity. True hai. For bidding in the multilateral funded infrastructure project, Exim Bank can support India Tech through the project financing, including non-fund based facilities. The next one is your if India Tech set up a design office abroad to support the export link activities, Exim may assist under the overseas investment. Aapka, this also should be correct. Exim Bank line of credit are extended directly to Indian exporter. No, it is to the aapka foreign governments. Under the corporate banking, Exim can provide pre-shipment and post-shipment support to Tech India Finance. This is also true. So 13457. 13457 means option C should be right answer for this one. Not D, not A. Option C should be right answer. Okay, first one is correct now. We'll check the answer. Yes. Okay, so buyer credit from the Exim is extended to overseas buyer आपका project companies to import the Indian goods in this. And then we have आपका this statement was incorrect. It is for the purchasing Indian goods only. And आपका line of credit is extended to overseas government, not to the your not to the exporters आपका directly, right? So that is the case. Next one, guys. So identify following statement आपका in the context of RBI and role and exchange regulation. Very simple one. So exchange control in India was first introduced in 1999. So prior to 1999, it was FERA, ठीक है, 1973, and this FERA was आपका taken from the India आपका defense rule, right? So it taken from the आपका defense India defense rule or defense rule India something, ठीक है, 1933, right? So the earlier this was the act which was managing the forex, then 1973 FERA, then आपका this. So means the statement one is wrong here. The Reserve Bank of India empowered under the FEMA direction of impose penalties and others. So earlier it was आपका criminal offense. Now it got shifted to आपका civil wrong. So basically earlier there was a non-bailable आपका imprisonment and others, but now it is civil wrong. RBI issue guidelines under the AP or DIR circulars are related to update and others. So 2 and 3. A should be right answer for this particular one, right? So exchange control in India was introduced under the Defense of India Rule 1935, and then आपका FERA 1973, then आपका this 19 this, okay? Option A, D, how come, guys? Please do remember this. Okay. So it is आपका option A, not D आपका, right? What was D? Because everyone is saying option D. All state no. This at least you should remember this FERA wala things na, right? Considered in foreign currency reserve and others. Okay, chalo. Now next one. You can directly come to the question also. Referenced provision FEMA Schedule 1. Schedule 1 means that we have three schedules. Schedule 1 prohibited areas. Schedule 2 आपका your where we have to take prior approvals from the ministries, and Schedule 3 आपका allowed areas, right? So these three areas आपका, and you have to find out the correct one. So whether it is FEMA or vis-a-vis your LRS. So FEMA apply to all foreign exchange transaction undertaken in India as well as person resident in India, irrespective of where the transaction is executed. This is true. Remittances of lottery winning outside India is prohibited under the FEMA. So you cannot remit money for the lottery things and others, right? So payment of commission on export made under investment in wholly on this comes under the capital account transaction. So this is आपका next one. Remittances of income earned from the racing or similar hobbies are not allowed. This is also true. Gambling and all. Interest income on funds held under the non-resident special rupee account scheme can be freely remitted abroad. आपका this one though. This should be wrong, right? So 1, 2, 4. 1, 2, 4 means option A only should be right answer for this. Again D. How come, guys? Srikant sir only marked the option A. Rest all are saying B or D. This LRS or आपका FEMA wala things we have done yesterday also, huh? And this statement also we have done yesterday, huh? If you are saying D, remittances of interest income of on the funds held in आपका non-resident special rupee accounts is prohibited. Okay? So that is the case. Cool है? चलो. One another question, guys. Next question. तो फर्स्ट आपका ही वॉज एन एम्प्लॉय अब्रॉड एंड रिटर्न टू इंडिया, आपका परमानेंट सेटलमेंट, 40,000 आपका टर्मिनल बेनिफिट एंड दिस ओके आर कैन क्रेडिट 40,000 रिसीव आपका इन दिस टू RFC अकाउंट, yes 100% true, it should be correct, huh? Yesterday also we talk about these type of areas. So resident foreign currency account, that is the motive आपका कि if you have any foreign income with you, so you can bring back to India and you can keep in this particular account, and for 2 years it will be RNOR status itself, ठीक है. So the unspent आपका 2,000 brought back from his personal overseas visit in 27 can be credited to domestic account. This is also correct. Third one is the consultancy firm can retain 100% of foreign currency professional fee in EEFC account without mandatory conversion into INR. This also should be correct. EEFC, Exchange Earner Foreign Currency Account, earn interest similar to RFC accounts since both are foreign currency account. No, this RFC is not our resident foreign currency account in this. Exchange Earner Foreign Currency Account is आपका a non-interest bearing account, right? This should be wrong. RFC is a interest bearing, but exchange under foreign currency account is a non-interest bearing. Diamond exporting firm can open diamond dollar accounts and credit 100% of export realization into that particular account. True है. The next one we have, being a large exporter of diamond, exporting firms can open diamond dollar accounts more than one, means up to 5 आपका they can open, up to 5 they can open. Withdrawal in rupee from EEFC account can be are restricted only to current account transaction, not permitted for the, no, it is permitted for capital also. This is wrong. 1 2 3 5 6 1 2 3 1 2 3 5 6. Option D means आपका should be right answer for this particular one. Okay, so आपका this is when it comes to this. So exchange under foreign currency account, it is a non-interest bearing account in this particular one. I'll just check if I've kept that notes around this. Yes. So it is आपका exchange under foreign currency account for exporters, or आपका the exchange foreign currency earners आपका, they can maintain this particular one with authorized dealer bank. 100% retention is allowed in this particular one, non-interest bearing, and mitigate the exchange risk आपका, because like this is something key, this is kind of a replica of your DDA, like, so but this is usually for the आपका the exporters, okay, those who are doing import and export, or those who are doing आपका multiple exports and all, so they can maintain this account with the bank, so they can deal with the exchange risk आपका, right? If there is any fluctuation in foreign currencies and all, so that will not impact this particular one. RFC, resident foreign currency account, this is when NRI returning to India. Yesterday we talked about this. DDA आपका diamond dollar accounts, right? So that is something which is generally comes under this, right? DDA आपका 2 years track record, 3 crore turnovers, and it can be up to 5 crores in this. Clear है? Srikant sir, got it? So this is for the exporters, like let's say if there are some exporter who doing frequent multiple exports and others, so they can use this particular one, so that they can आपका like they do not have to worry around that foreign exchange आपका fluctuation and others, and they can manage through this particular one. Next one, guys. Which of the following statement correctly describe the role or the function of Foreign Exchange Dealer Association of India? Foreign Exchange Dealers Association of India. So Foreign Exchange Dealer Association of India, it is an SRO similar to our IB, right? Indian Bank Association. So when it comes to this particular one, your Foreign Exchange Dealer Association of India was established in 1958, approved by RBI in self-regulatory organization for the Forex business. Foreign Exchange Dealers Association of India exclusively for the foreign banks and not open. No, this is wrong. Aapka. Third one is your one of the key role of this to rule govern the interbank foreign exchange transaction and dispute. Aapka. This is also true. The fourth one is undertake the forex brokers and provide training to bank personals. This true. It is applicable to authorized dealer consisting 8 rules आपका covering the various aspect of this. This is also correct, right? So 1345. 1345 means option A only will be correct answer for this particular one. Rene, chalo. Next one, guys. Vigneshwaran sir, very good, well done. Chalo, you are the only one who is answering, I guess. Very good. So when it comes to which of the following statement about the GDR, the trading and transfer of GDR shares, GDR will come in module B, huh? In detail we will be discussing there. So GDR, trading and transfer of GDR shares require a multi-stage process involving the bank brokers and investors, home country, foreign in this, buyer and custodian, yes. The second statement is GDR can be converted into regular stock of the company, sold on exchange and cancel and return to the issuing company. This is also correct, right? Both should be correct in this case. We do not have both. Achha, okay. Option C should be right answer for this particular one. C is the right answer for this one, guys. Both are correct, right? Next one, okay. Next one we have your IFSC. So IFSC, which is your International Financial Service Center. IFSC Act आपका and this very small unit value creation at least आपका downside 1 marks or 2 marks you can expect based on this. Very simple, huh? So opportunities at GIFT City, IBU part is the most important part, right? Then we have role of IFSC, regulatory framework, permissible activities for IBUs also, and this they have already asked in last exam. Still very small one. You can go for that particular one. So when it comes to the areas after the benefit which we are getting with this, so it is a kind of one-stop solution for handling all these foreign investments in others, right? So that like whatever, like we are trying to streamline the entire process after creating a uniform law from like from all the different regulators and all. So if some foreign investors are coming to India, they can easily go for these particular one, right? So creating a strong connection while focusing on the requirement of Indian economy, strong international financial platform for the entire region and global, and to facilitate आपका cross border activities. So what we have done, like earlier, there was many challenges. If any foreign investment is coming to India, they have to take approvals from different one, and even there are multiple mediators or up intermediaries. So now we have cut down those particular one. We've passed a single law that is called आपका foreign sorry International Financial Service Center Authority, IFSCA, right? So it is located in GIFT City, Gandhinagar, Gujarat. The area is आपका fundraising services for individual, corporate, asset management, global portfolio diversification, wealth management, global tax management, आपका regional corporate, risk management, merger and acquisitions. Apart from this, आपका these are the opportunities. This is kind of the tagline. If you open the IFSCA website, you'll see these kind of things आपका there. Now it is accessible in all market, means it is providing all the kind of services. Banking आपका Indian and foreign bank, are there. We have capital market related activities, insurance related, asset management, and some emerging segment आपका, like let's say aircraft leasing, global in-house centers, global fintech hub, and these are the आपका the emerging areas in the world market. So they generally provided by this. So the services आपका like in wholesale banking, ECV and trade finance, factoring, forfeiting, syndicated bank loan, participation in aircraft leasing, guarantee and आपका indemnity business, और treasury management, ALM management, derivative this, और आपका retail में. So if when we are opening an IBU in this IFSCA center, so with that IBU you are having opportunity to each and every field of finance, and where you are offering these kind of services to your customers and you are getting benefited with the commission in others, right? So IBU is IFSC banking unit, your branch, your bank branch in IFSCA or gift city, okay? And one bank can have only one branch. Now the most important part is this, the requirements, right? So this is something, if they'll ask question, mostly the question should be around this particular area. So maintain our necessary regulatory capital, which is 20 million as per the parent bank tier 1 capital. It is linked with the parent bank. No objection certificate from home regulator. If it is Indian bank, RBI, or if it is any foreign bank, their home regulator. Letter of comfort from the आपका parent bank itself, right? They'll try to confuse you. Ki letter of comfort from आपका regulators or others. Please do remember this. They do not have to आपका go for CRR and SLR. NSFR and LCR, they need to maintain in IBU level, but it can be maintained at the आपका parent bank level after the approvals. Similarly for leverage ratio also, the additional things, IBU required to maintain retail deposit ratio of 3% of their previous working day, right? So they do not have to maintain CRR and SLR, but they do have to maintain one additional ratio that is called a retail deposit reserve ratio, right? And the guidelines will be applicable to home regulators if specifically specified under आपका IFSC. Any guidelines which is apart from the home regulators, which is clearly mentioned in this, that is the part of this particular one, right? So the areas, these are some important areas, right? Then apart from this, when it comes to the areas आपका, ठीक है, the activities also, ठीक है. So permissible activities for IBUs, resident or this, all transactions shall be in currency other than INR, right? So IBU are deal with wholly owned subsidiary in this. They can open foreign currency account. They are not allowed to open saving bank account आपका, right? IFSC and non-resident institutional investor facilitate आपका investment transaction and open foreign currency account आपका. Permissible activities apart from this, no check facility will be available. All transaction will be done through bank transfer. IBU are permitted to undertake factoring and forfeiting services. आपका IBU shall obtain prior approval from RBI to offering derivative product आपका. IBUs are allowed to open foreign currency escrow accounts for GDR, ADRs mechanism and all. IB are allowed to underwrite आपका INR denominated overseas bond issued by Indian companies in overseas market. Exposure ceiling आपका another important part. For individual single आपका 5% of tier 1 capital. For group borrowers आपका 10% of tier 1 capital of parent banks. All AML safety compliant as per the RBI. The IBU is regulated supervised by RBI. No liquidity support will be provided by RBI. Right, so these are the areas which generally comes under this particular one. When it comes to the relaxation, last year question was around this November question, FPI. So trading access, SEBI registered FPI can trade on IFSC exchange and commodity derivative without आपका additional documentation. Zero STT and CTT. Tax waiver आपका, they do not have to pay the short-term capital gain, which is 30% in standard market. Retail participation is allowed for the liquidity. Extended operation 24 hours, right? So it is after 24 hours a day. So that is something which generally comes under this. Now practice. How they strengthening the Indian rupee if they do not allow this one. See, this is something, a platform for the investment opportunities in others, right? So like eventually how it is happening, so we have that is a kind of a one platform where investors are coming and आपका आपका the like let's say companies and others, or when eventually they are making payments na, that will be the through the authorized dealers, the Indian branch. Your IBU branch is considered as a foreign branch, ठीक है? So if we are having any IBU branch, that get considered as a foreign branch. So now as a Indian आपका company, I am approaching to authorized dealer bank. Authorized dealer bank through that IFSC, those who foreign investor, those who want to invest in our company. So we are dealing with this. So this is something a kind of one-stop destination for all the foreign investors. They can come there and आपका they can make investment through. Again, the route will be same आपका that authorized dealers and others. That is the case. Subhas. So when it comes to IFSC, primarily serve customers in domestic economy jurisdiction. It is आपका international basically. IFSC fundraising services to individual corporate desk. आपका asset management and global portfolio diversification mutual fund are key activities. IFSC facilitate the global tax management and cross tax liability. IFSC do engage in आपका risk management operations such as insurance and reinsurance. This is also true. IFSC, अच्छा, it do not, it is mentioned do not, sorry, so it is आपका wrong. It do आपका right. So 234 means option A will be right answer for the risk management operation, including आपका insurance and reinsurance part of this one. And IFSC cater customers outside the domestic economy jurisdiction. Even our branch is also considered as a foreign branch in this particular case. So IFSC and gift city आपका the currency, the transactions which happen there, that is any currency apart आपका beyond the INR. That is also like let's say like we have in this insurance and reinsurance business आपका, like let's say it can be related to export only if some exporter are directly seeking from them, or even some international project and others that can be done in that particular case. But the insurance is, the concept is fine now, insurance and reinsurance, ठीक है? So reinsurance companies आपका, they generally provide insurance to insurance companies, right? So they also that the availability of that insurance product and आपका reinsurance is also there. Means it is as simple as that कि suppose that some companies entering into some आपका abroad some contract and others, they need some insurance, so they can have an option through the IFSC also. From global insurers, they can purchase that particular one, or in some foreign companies making investment in India, they need some insurance, they can do it through that particular IFSC listed insurance companies or the entities. And that reinsurance cases, like there are 100 insurance companies and we have one global reinsurance company similar to this GIC that is insuring all those particular. So when it comes to this, the bank in IFSC in India operate their home country, and the example for the domestic reserve requirement on the deposit. The second one is your bank in IFSC and can extend loan to both resident and it is आपका, this is wrong. IFSC is located, it is for non-resident, not resident. आपका functioning in the 19 and participate in the multilateral bank. SEC Act 2005 allow the establishment of IFSC within special economic zone, but not आपका provide tax exemption. It does provide आपका tax exemption also. The business opportunities is this wholesale banking and all these particular one, yes. So 135 means option D must be right answer for this, but D will be right answer for this, right, Rani ma'am? So the only incorrect statement was आपका sorry, 2 and 4 statement are wrong in this particular case. IFSC established in 2015. No. This आपका 2019 and IFSC Act आपका got passed in 2021 आपका, right? So that was the case. And there was one slide na, just a minute. So this is the आपका this basically IFSC Act got passed in 2019, sorry, right? and आपका April 2020 it is established आपका, right? हाँ, so 19 and 20. So this is the 19 and 20 when it started the operation. What was the question statement आपका? It was same only, right? So it is आपका located in this functioning 17, participation from the public sector and others. अच्छा, means this third statement is also wrong now. Started functioning, what was the case आपका? I need to check this one, sorry. So आपका the IFSC Act आपका 2019 formed on April 20 formed, and IFSC on April this with headquarter this. Okay, this is statement need to verify. Huh? Established 2020 it is showing everywhere. So that means that should be wrong. Up Act is 19. आपका this is the 20th. Gift city. Okay, tell me sir, tell me. Swaz sir, what is your query? So means आपका this should be wrong. This operation wala thing should be, this is आपका for the act आपका, right? So act and it started working in April 2020 आपका, right? Next one guys. Third statement was about gift city. Gift city आपका located in Gujarat. आपका operation in 19 with mix. See, gift city, this is the आपका, this is the full form up. Anyone who remember this particular one? Acha, okay. The gift city located in Gujarat. Acha, it is about gift city. Sorry. Guys, it is not about IFSCA. It is about the gift city आपका. हाँ, correct है. हाँ, right. Okay. हाँ, correct. Suhas sir, good catch. Chalo, nice. Next one, guys. Srikant sir, how you missed this statement? Srikant sir is like, I feel he is tired today. Yes. Next one, guys. IFSC IBUs. This is important. Okay, this is आपका this anyhow you have to remember, huh? So only one IBU can be set up by each eligible bank in IFSC. True है. IBU are exempted from maintaining CRR and SLR. This is also true. IBU open saving account, wrong है. Fund raised by IBU must only be resident India आपका real. This is also correct, incorrect. आपका deposit maintained by IBU not insured by the DICGC. Deposit insurance means that DICGC true है. This is wrong. This is correct. Huh? So means 1 to 5. 1 to 5 means option A. Everyone is right here. Nice. Next one. So IFSCA and the regulatory framework for IBUs. Okay. Sure. So IFSCA established as a unified regulators. The another one is आपका Indian and foreign bank must obtain license from IFSCA. This is आपका also true. Third one is IBU are required to maintain both SLR and this, wrong है. Parent bank must maintain 20 million US dollar आपका tier 1 capital, true है. IBUs are mandated to maintain daily retail आपका deposit ratio on previous day. This is also true. So 1, 2, 4, 5. 1, 2, 4, 5 means option B only will be आपका right answer for this particular question. Correct है guys? Next one. Gujarat International Finance Technology. Yes. Vignesh, you are doing good. Very good. Keep answering. Other people are silently watching, huh? So, which of the following statement regarding the operation of the international banking units, IBUs, are correct. So IBU are permitted to open saving bank accounts for high net worth individual. Wrong hai. IBUs must conduct all transaction currencies other than INR except for administrative things and all. Right, this is true. Third one is IBUs can act as underwriter or arranger for INR denominated overseas bond issued by the Indian companies in overseas market. IBUs are allowed to operate in a domestic money and payment market subject to pay. No, they are not part of this. IBUs may open up a foreign currency account and escrow account for corporate. True है. So 235 means option D will be right answer for this particular. Very good, well done guys. Next one. Which of the following statement are true regarding the relaxation granted to FPI at a gift city? Relaxation granted to FPIs at gift city. So they are allowed आपका in commodity derivatives on IFSC without any additional documentation. Yes. The next one is आपका companies at gift city are exempted from CTT and STT. Yes. Third one is short-term capital gain on derivatives increase. No, it is not charged. 1 and 2. So option A will be right answer. So when it comes to आपका capital gain, it is if you are trading on IFSC listed आपका area, so you do not have to pay any STT on that particular one, right? Next one, guys. What is the maximum exposure limit for a single borrowers under the IBU regulations? So it is आपका 5% of tier 1 capital, right? So 5% of tier 1 capital, and for the group आपका the exposure is your आपका 10%. This is the one. Next one. Which of the following transaction is applicable to IFSC banking unit? IBU must maintain separate nostro account distinct from the branches of the same. First one only the correct one आपका, right? आपका IBU can principal domestic current money, no. Rupee denominated derivatives, no. And can participate in Indian domestic payment system, no. Right, so option A only will be right answer for this particular one. Next one, guys. Regulatory requirements is true for bank setting IBU. Parent banks must provide a minimum of 20 million. So this is wrong. Parent bank must obtain no objection letter from the home country. True hai. SLR not required. IBU are allowed to maintain LCR exclusively at IBU without any parent bank intervention. No, it is आपका in some cases when we have taken approvals, it can be managed at the आपका parent bank level also, right? So that is the easy one. Next one. Okay, so technology in international banking. Now the next unit आपका technology in international banking. So here this is completely practice driven, right? So let's start this particular one with the question itself. So technology means आपका nowadays like foreign trade, everywhere we have technology. So similarly here also, let's try with this questions. First question, just after this one. Subhash sir, we'll just complete this unit because it is आपका practice driven. Then we'll take a break for 10 minutes. Then we will start with module B. Module B, 2 units आपका. The concept also we will be discussing for the module आपका unit 12, because 11 we have done in the morning, 12 we will be discussing. Just आपका finish this one, then we'll take a break. So which of the following statement accurately reflect the key aspect of digitization of the international banking? So what will be your correct answer, guys? Competition from startup and tech giants is pushing traditional bank. You just answer this question, guys. This is in your ABFM also, I guess. AI or digital banking and all. And in ABFM only. नेक्स्ट क्या होगा करेक्ट आंसर? सो competition from the startup and tech giants is pushing traditional bank to rethink and accelerate their digital banking transformation. A bank digital strategy must be generic and uniformly, no, it is आपका according to the product line or business activities. Digitalization requires transformation not only technology but organizational culture, process and आपका asset utilization. HR and technology, you remember, same line. Assessment of current digital maturity, capability gap, and essential to define to roadmap for the digital reinvention. Re-engineering of IT architecture should only focus on front end, no, for front end and back end both. 134. 134 means option B will be right answer for this particular one. Correct? So option B will be right answer. Next one. Now your history. You remember the history point, guys? Try everyone, even with the elimination also, right? So elimination you can use later. Which of the following statement are the correct regarding the evolution and impact of technology in international banking? So first, the 11 o'clock or 12 o'clock. First major shift in banking technology in India was introduced of the introduction of the automated teller machine during the pre-nationalization era. Pre-nationalization era. ATMs आपका came in India during 1981 or something now. That which was India's first ATM. HSBC or some foreign bank who established आपका first ATM. It was around 90s, I guess. Then ICICI Bank was the first Indian bank to establish this one. Correct? है? So this should be wrong, आपका mean. After the nationalization, 69, access to banking improved, but informal financial intermediaries still आपका play a significant role. This we will accept. The second phase of nationalization, 1980, where six bank nationalized, coins with the India's first introduction of ALPMS, Advanced Ledger Posting Machine in bank. This has happened during this one or no? Third statement, guys, anyone who know about this? The transition of the internet banking in 90s, the transition in internet banking in 90s mark as a shift in branch centric service, online आपको customer and card digital, this true है. While the technology brought advantages आपका like lower transaction in this, introduced challenges such as this, also true, right? So if I go with the elimination 245, do we have 245? 245 is have like option C should be right answer for this. Durgesh sir is saying option D. Huh? We'll check the answer first. Yes, option C is the right answer. So, आपका ALPMS did emerge during 1980s. Their introduction is associated with the technology hunger and the other areas, you know, right? So that is something which generally comes under this particular one. All right, guys. Chalo, next one. So this means आपका this statement was wrong. Clear है? Next one. Rani ma'am, very fast, huh? So the trade finance portal provide paperless processing of the import and export transaction, include the feature of maker checker authorization, a real-time update on LG and BG limit. The second one is the foreign exchange rate portal allow cooperate to book Forex deal in real time, but such deal are provisional and not subject to regulatory documentation compliance. They are subject to this. Okay, this should be wrong. The trade finance portal enable corporate to perform bulk upload and access swift copies आपका of this particular one. True है. The next one is corporate accessing the foreign exchange trade portal must execute one-time identity agreements and non-submission of documents. Okay, arising from non-submission of documents. This should be correct. One of the benefit of foreign exchange rate portal is provision of the real-time advisory and the bank dealing rooms. आपका this is also true. 1345. Do we have 1345 means option D should be right answer. I'm also doing some guesswork with this one. D is the right answer. Huh? So D is आपका. The dealing room are not exempted from the regulatory compliances. Rest all are fine here. Okay. You guys are also weak with computer things, huh? You have to learn computer. Next one is easy, guys. Next one is easy, doable for everyone because this is something we have read आपका many times. हाँ चलो बताओ भाई क्या होगा correct answer. So RBI monitoring system, ADPMS, IDPMS, and FIRMS, right? So when it comes to export transaction related to service export are monitored through the EDPMS platform. Export transaction आपका no, it is आपका date is wrong 2014, right? Year is mentioned wrong here 2014. Then the another one is your under the IDPMS bill of entry. Yesterday only we talk about this. Settle against the multiple outward remittances or vice versa. True है. Third one is under FIRMS GPR. This we discussed today only. Both ARF and GPR form आपका starting from. This is also true. IDPMS for the non-EDI port, the BOE must manually uploaded by the authorized dealer bank based on the आपका input. If it is not electronic one, so this should be true. EBRC system introduced in 17 require authorized dealer upload on realization data on EDPMS only after the settlement of that year end. No, this is आपका we have like there is one principle cause like when as we are receiving the money accordingly we have to as we are receiving that transaction accordingly we have to upload. This should be wrong. 2 3 4 2 3 huh? I'll also go with option A. I'll go with Saraj sir and Rani ma'am in this case. Option A is the right answer, guys. आपका is service export and not supported under the ADPMS and EBRC आपका system introduce हाँ it is a principle called as and when realized basis आपका ठीक है. So not just आपका year end, it is a principle based on as and when realized आपका, right? Next one. So which of the following statement about fintech delivery channel in international banking are correct? So artificial intelligence in international banking help identify customer need by analyzing the inward and outward remittances volume, overseas counterparties and periodicity of the payment. The second one is your big data analytics in fintech आपका primarily focus on we have discussed all around in ABM only, right? Big data that was in HRM. Similarly here also how we are using the data in others, right? So consumer preference and spending habits आपका this is the one. This is also correct. RPA आपका robotic process automation. This was also part of your HRM. In banking used mainly to manage the customer relation. No, it is related to automation related things आपका. Blockchain technology provide a secure transparent digital ledger for trade, enabling the encrypted transaction and reducing the cyber tech risk आपका. AI cannot be used to improve the outcome of international trade negotiation by analyzing economic trajectories to the trade partners. It can be actually right? It should be wrong. 1 2 4 1 2 no 1 2 4 option C should be right answer. Everyone now, when once I'll challenge you, you guys will mark the correct answer, huh? Next one, guys. Next one is about the blockchain only. So which of the following statement about the use of blockchain technology in international trade are correct? So while you revise this, refer this PDF, the initial concept after you'll get all these particular one. And this India blockchain is bit important, huh? There must be some question around that. Dedicated question, I mean. So blockchain allow real-time review and approvals of financial document, reducing the shipment initiation time. Blockchain reduce the need for the correspondent bank and automate settlement by a smart contract, which cut fee and counterparty risk आपका. Regulatory and compliances challenge including आपका sanction screening and suspicious transaction monitoring are the hurdle for this one. Yes, challenges आपका. India Blockchain Infrastructure Private Limited was formed by the multiple bank to facilitate आपका not cross border, inland आपका basically, ठीक है, what it is called, ठीक है, domestic transaction आपका. Blockchain technology eliminate paperwork, ensure security and integrate आपका GST, e-bills and others. In case of India, it is true. 1 2 3 5 1 2 3 5 means option D must be right. Why option A 5 is also correct? Now blockchain technology eliminate paperwork, enhance the security, integrate with the GST and e-way bill. This question is around, actually it is आपका this India Blockchain Infrastructure Limited, huh? So D should be right answer for this one. Okay, next one, guys. Blockchain adoption technology adoption in India are correct. Blockchain technology adoption in India are correct. Mayank sir, very good evening and very late, huh? How come? Just reached home or what? Chalo. So intra-bank blockchain use allow bank to set up private blockchain mainly for the internal purpose such as training and asset management. Intra-bank blockchain used for this for the internal purpose. It can be centralized KYC on blockchain help reduce duplicate customers onboarding efforts and enhance the transparency and audit. This should be correct. Third one is blockchain enable the cross-border payments, real-time आपका settlements and help in reduce आपका liquidity and operation. This is also correct. Syndication of loan cannot be benefit from blockchain technology as underwriting and KYC process cannot be automated. It can be in syndicated also, if as a lead bank or as a individual bank, if we are doing it, can be done, right? Blockchain technology in capital market reduce the trade errors, your streamlining the back office function and आपका this is also. So 1 2 3 5 1 2 3 5 means option A should be right answer for this particular one. Very good, guys, excellent. Next one. Which of the following statement accurately reflect the challenges? Means this is the last question from your unit number 11, sorry 10, related to this. So challenges was the last subtopic. So regulator expressed the concern regarding the data security to hacking threats. True hai. The another one is high startup cost and inability to fully auto eliminate the human interface pose significant challenges also. This is also correct, right? Data breaches can cause both आपका legal liability and damage the fintech reputation. This all should be right answer for this one, right? So option D must be right answer for this particular one. Correct, guys? So this is we have done with आपका the entire set of practice with your just allow me 1 minute, I'll open the new file. So as of now we have done with your module A of BFM, right? Now next 2 hour, again I'll be asking 2 hours आपका, right? So next 2 hour we will be working around the your module B itself, right? So module B we will be discussing. So module B आपका very important one, very interesting again. So module B is our next target. So we will be at least doing two units आपका risk, or if it is well and good, we can discuss the third one also, right? So that is something what we will be targeting in this. Okay, so let's take a 5 to 7 minute break आपका, right? Then we'll see you and we will start with this. Okay, everyone, let's take a break for 5 minutes. Then we will start afresh from the module B onwards, right? So module B again, like first unit is very small, second unit is bit lengthy, 13 unit 13 is आपका one of the lengthiest one, right? If you have done with unit number 13 means 40% is done from this unit, remaining is kind of repetition in all, that will help you. Okay, chalo, so let's take a break for 5 minutes and then we will restart Hello, 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 hello. So, guys, shall we start then? So, when it comes to your module B, so module B is all about your risk management, right? So, we have these many unit 11 to 18, which are generally part of this one. So, here the first unit is all about the introduction of risk. Second unit is आपका risk in banking business, the business line or the risk wise categorization. We have banking book, trading book, and off balance sheet exposure. Third one, we have risk regulation in banking industry. This is something which is आपका very lengthy unit, right? So we have a Basel 1, Basel 2, Basel 3, all the three pillars, capital charge wala portion. And apart from capital charge also, there are many things related to this. Then we have individual risk आपका, individual risk categories and others, which generally comes under this particular one. Okay, so these are the different areas. Let's start the discussion with the unit number 11. So when it comes to unit number 11, first the topic is all about your आपका what is risk and the risk written in capital trinity. So basically, higher the risk, higher the return, higher the capital charge. Capital charge means the amount which we are keep aside to safeguard the position in all, right? So that is the one. So while we are making any investment, we have to consider all the three elements. Your decision is not only around the capital return things, right? Then आपका how we manage this risk. So here we have the organization for risk management as well as आपका the framework. The organization for risk management, which include the different layer of authorities, and when it comes to your the another part आपका yeah, the identification, risk identification, measurement. Then we have your pricing, monitoring and control, and आपका mitigation and others, right? So what is risk? We all know about this one. And risk written trinity. This is something which is very basic one, right? Now, the first one, when it comes to the overall risk management framework in a bank, and this framework will be part of each and every your each and every what it is called, each and every topic itself, right? So we will be talking around this particular organization for risk management, where we have a entire team which is led by BODs, board of directors. Then we have board of directors, we have risk management committee. Under risk management committee, we have individual groups आपका, like we have elco, and we have your credit risk management committee, and we have the next one is your आपका operational risk management committee, under which we have support group and task forces, which are led by the your CCO itself, right? So this is the entire structure which is generally part of this one, and this structure will get repeated with each and every topic. Their responsibility will differ आपका in cases, like let's say when you're studying the operational risk, board of directors, then आपका risk management committee, then आपका operational risk management committee, then support group and आपका departments in others. So that is something. So risk management committee is a board level subcommittee. Responsibilities of risk management committee with regard to which include आपका setting guidelines for the risk management and reporting, ensuring that risk management process is conformed with the bank policy, setting up prudential limits and periodical reviews, ensure robustness of the risk management model, and ensure आपका proper planning of the risk itself, right? So that is something which generally comes under this. The board, they have ultimate responsibility in management of overall risk at the bank level. Risk management committee आपका board level subcommittee, under which we these three committees आपका they work, ठीक है? elco, which is responsible for your liquidity risk, interest rate and market risk, and to manage the net interest margin. Credit risk management committee, credit rating model, rating mitigation, portfolio analysis. Operational risk management committee, which is responsible for your fraud analysis, new product criteria आपका, as well as your process mitigation and all. Then we have support groups, and the task forces, which is headed by the Chief Risk Officer, CRO, that's generally part of this particular one. The another stage we have your the process itself. So the process which generally start with the your risk identification, like identification of risk to which are bank prone to, right? So the risk inherent in individual deal, so aggregate at the portfolio level. So we have to manage risk simultaneously with the actions or the with the functions. And while we are doing management key, if we are integrating anything or entering into any transaction, how it is, we have to consider the your आपका individual transaction as well as the impact on the portfolio. So basically risk management and activities are simultaneous. This is not like once we are doing activities then we are doing the risk management. We have to run both simultaneously, right? And risk taking is kind of a आपका risk taking is kind of our business itself. Our every transaction involve आपका few or like one or more than one आपका risk, like operational risk is present everywhere, or counterparty and others kind of things and others, right? Then second one is your measurement. So when it comes to measurement आपका quantifying those particular risks, like the first one is identification, another one is measurement. In case of measurement, what we are finding ki, like what can be the worst case scenario. We use sensitivity, volatility, downside potentials. So there are different tool आपका which we generally use for this one. The third one, third step आपका, which is your आपका risk pricing, right? So when it comes to risk pricing, it is something ki, like let's say the case of CRR. So CRR and SLR is part of reserve system. If our bank is maintaining those particular one, eventually it is adversely affecting the profit areas, because you have raised liability from the customer and you are depositing a portion with RBI and it is not paying any interest on that particular one, right? So when we go for any kind of these particular thing, so you have to consider the risk pricing also. Like let's say borrowing and lending. Borrowing for the purpose of lending is the core business. So at what rate you are borrowing and at what rate you are lending, those decisions will be affected by your आपका risk pricing itself. So that is something that is आपका, ठीक है श्रीकांत सर, these will come, ठीक है. So when it comes to ना this sensitivity और आपका volatility, downside potential and others, these all will come, ठीक है. So sensitivity is the case of Sensex. You remember कि we have आपका 30 companies in that particular one, right? Let's say maximum weightage आपका we have Reliance. तो Reliance weightage is around 8% आपका of the overall indices. So if there is आपका this one variable is changing in any direction, so how it is changing the overall portfolio, overall Sensex value, that is your sensitivity, upside and downside. Volatility आपका, the elements, all the elements, how they are volatile to the any specific indices in other areas. So that we generally calculate volatility based on the historical data itself. So that is आपका case of volatility आपका, ठीक है. So how volatile it is, like if there will be 1% change or 50 basis point change, how it will impact the overall areas. So that is आपका volatility. These will come in detail. That's why I'm not touching these one right now. Then we have your downside potential. That is a best tool which we use for the risk assessment, because when it comes to your downside potential, what we generally take in, we take the downside of sensitivity, downside of your volatility, and that help us to find out the downside potential of this one. For that we use VAR and other things system for that case, right? Then we have risk pricing आपका. Then आपका monitoring and control, right? We have MIS system and different tool आपका. So we generally consider those particular one. Finally it comes to the mitigation आपका, how we are dealing with those particular one, any type of risk आपका which become reality in the normal course of business. EWRM is one another tool. We use COSO ERM nowadays. So COSO ERM is bit important, right? So you have to consider that. So these are some areas which are generally part of your overall introduction of risk. This is just kind of an introduction of risk आपका, overall risk आपका. Then next unit will be in आपका risk in banking business. Then next one will start with the management areas. तो these 8 line आपका sometime they ask around the course forum and the objective, especially this objective portion आपका that you have to remember from this one. Okay, चलो now आपका we will be, this unit is something which can be done through the practice only. Let's go through the question because आपका all the part except this ERM things, 100 other things आपका 100% will get repeated with the other topic except from ERM और EWRM same हाँ. So the unpredictability in sales volume and selling price introduce uncertainty in cash flows of the traders, which is true. Variation in purchase price and logistic cost contribute uncertainty in outflow of the process. True. Third one is आपका risk arise only when uncertainties result in adverse deviation from the planned profit. That is also true. That is the meaning of the risk. Highly variable, sorry, high variability in net cash flow implies both higher potential profit or losses. Yes, higher the risk, higher the loss. A business with lower variability in net cash flow will necessarily generate आपका higher return. This is wrong. High, low risk, low return. Similarly, so investment in RBI bonds and fixed interest rate and assured principal repayments represent a zero risk investment during the holding period. Uncertainty become risk only when it can be reasonably assessed आपका measure and price using probability based on methods, right? This is the meaning of your risk itself. So option A आपका, you guys are saying 1 2 3 4 6 आपका 5 is wrong, corrected, right? So the basic areas or the cases of the risk itself. Next one, guys. Okay, a 5 year periods, business aim, business way, both are expected identical cash flow in 5 years. So even if total return are identical, business A preferably become lower cash flow volatility implies lower risk आपका, that is true. Business B would require higher capital allocation due to higher potential losses arising from the volatile cash flows आपका, that is also true. Third statement आपका, equal accounting return imply that both business are equally attractive to shareholders. This should be wrong आपका, right? It is not attractive, it is आपका risk, the risk profile differences, right? So additional return demanded from business business B over A represent a risk premium. That is also true, right? If you want to invest in B, if you are having, we will invest in business B only when it will offer us higher return in others, right? If it is similarly returning to this one, there is no point of investing in business B. Evaluating both business purely on ROE, return on equity, may lead misleading आपका conclusions regarding the performance. Yes, that is also true. RAROC, ठीक है, so that is the best alternate to evaluate these particular project. Enable the comparison between A and B, adjusting return आपका risk undertaken. So RAROC methodology unit number 31 is all about RAROC only, right? So it generally tell us ki this is like most important tool basically nowadays which get used by the bank and other institutions to analyze the situation at a activity level or even in business line level, activity level, you can use this particular one to assess the overall risk return and capital charge. A higher RAROC of a business B would made it more attractive despite a higher volatility, and this is also correct. So 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. We have you guys what you guys suggesting? D. 1, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. 100% D should be right answer for this particular one. So equal accounting return do not आपका ensure equal attractiveness when a risk profile is आपका differ in that case. Rest all are fine क्या? No. Rest all statements are fine in this case. Next one, guys. Which of the following statement correctly explain the need for risk management in an organization? Risk arise due to unfavorable variation in uncertain business factors affecting net cash flows. The second one is the magnitude of business risk remain constant irrespective of change in severity of the adverse factor. Large and prolonged adverse price or volume movements can erode the profit and may even wipe out the capital what we have invested in that business. Measuring potential losses under the severely adverse condition help assessing the capital adequacy and business continuity. Incorrect estimation of the risk related losses can distort the pricing and adversely impact the organization RAROC. 1345. 1345 means option B should be right answer for this. Very good. Well done, guys. Next one. Okay. The organization for risk management. Organization for risk management. You can skip the story itself. You can directly jump to this one because just now we have gone through the overall structure. Your board of directors at the top. Then we have risk management committee. Then we have dedicated committees for ELCO. We have credit risk management and operational. Then we have support groups. Try, guys. Okay. Shivas sir is saying option C. Other people also. So the board of directors is responsible for approving overall risk management policy and setting aggregate limit for the bank. Risk management committee of the board primarily implement the business strategies and fix the operation. No. Yeah, that is a board level committee. At line management, they are not doing this, right? ELCO focus on liquidity risk, interest rate risk, and protection of the net interest margin. This is comes under the role of ELCO. Recommendations of benchmark lending rate, MCLR, RLLR of this is also function of ELCO. That is also true. The Credit Risk Management Committee undertake portfolio analysis and retail loan asset and validate the credit rating model. This is also correct. Operational Risk Management Committee is responsibility clearing new credit product and others. No, this comes under the Credit Risk Management Committee, not Operational Risk Management Committee. The next one we have Risk Management Support Group headed by CRO, perform independent risk monitoring, measure analysis in this. True है. तो 13457, 1345, not this. Okay, what you guys suggesting? Not A आपका B. 1 2, no, this is also wrong. A or B is wrong. Anyone else? अच्छा, okay, C. 1345, option 100%. Those who have marked option C, they all are correct here. See guys, in आपका implementation of business strategy and fixing operational prudential limit is आपका senior executive, not this board level one. Then another we have operational risk management, clear new product, not this आपका credit risk management. Okay, no, operational risk management, clear the new product and process other than credit product are आपका by the your credit risk management committee. ठीक है, so please do remember this one. Clear है? Any confusion with anything guys? Done, I guess, right? Okay. ECB minimum average maturity period and price. हाँ, so that depend on sir ना. हाँ, like I'll suggest अगर if they are mentioned around the current one, right? बसंत sir, अगर वो लिखते हैं current year के लिए तो answer is yes. जिसमें से हमने आज cover किए थे वैसे maturity वाला cases I guess fine, right? Only आपका that manufacturing वाले में 3 years का जो update था up to 100 million US dollar 3 years के लिए, और इसके अलावा बट दैट प्रीवियस वन इज ऑल्सो एक्टिव। हाँ, दूसरा द ओवरऑल लिमिट जो है 750 मिलियन से बढ़ा करके कितना कर दिया गया आपका 750 मिलियन यूएस डॉलर से बढ़ा करके उसको हमने कर दिया कितना 1 बिलियन यूएस डॉलर। तो दैट इज समथिंग विच वी हैव। अच्छा, आंसर इज गिवन इन दिस केस के स्टेटमेंट 2, historical average losses on similar risk label is treated as risk premium and added to the transaction pricing आपका deferredly expected losses। तो historical अगर if when we talk about this one historical मतलब this is something how we are defining the risk premium आपका we are using the past incidences similar to that, right? So like it can be 3 months, 6 months or 1 year, 2 years. So based on those particular one we are deciding the आपका the risk premium, like let's say based on those experiences we are defining the pricing and accordingly we are doing the things आपका। ठीक है, that is something which is related to this। Sorry, answer was I forgot to remove this answer। So any other statement guys? Rest all fine? Sure, next one, COSO ERM, EWRM or ERM, enterprise wide risk management, that is your EWRM. So EWRM, a continuous and structured process that link organizational objective with identification, assessment, mitigation, and monitoring of the risk. EWRM focus on financial risk that directly affect the profitability. It include operational and strategic also. There are 4 objectives. The next one is COSO ERM framework adopted by bank, integrate आपका risk management with strategic operational reporting compliances। ठीक है, these are the 4 elements। ठीक है, strategic, operational, reporting and compliances, true है। The next one is evaluation of existing risk management system under EWRM include assessment of structure, MIS, effective control process. Enterprise-wide risk management aim at regulatory compliances, not intend to create a business value. It is beyond the regulatory compliances. Okay? It is beyond the regulatory compliances. Regulatory compliances we have to have managed, but when it comes to your आपका EWRM, this is kind of an continuous ongoing system for the robustness in overall risk management system itself. So 134 means option D should be right answer for this particular one. So EWRM intend not only the compliance but also help drive the business value while managing the evolving risk in the system itself. EWRM, a holistic enterprise-wide view covering all internal and external risks, including strategic, operational, financial compliances and others. Right? This type of question we have done आपका in past. Okay? So just avoid this. Let's go for the next one. Basic risk management framework in an organization. Basic risk management framework in an organization. So, a risk management initiative must originate from the top level board of directors. The economic measure of the risk are used to set a risk limit to ensure best risk adjusted return relative to the capital invested. The next one we have a risk must first be identified, measure, and आपका accepting for mitigation. Then the next one is risk management should embedded in regular business line. Management for this one we should have a separate team आपका control oriented. The robust risk management framework include process like identification, measuring, pricing, mitigation, and control. 235. 235 means option A only will be right answer for this particular one. A only will be right answer for this one, guys. Okay, we have practiced one similar type question, but answer was wrong. Few answer was wrong. So please go for this one again. The another question. So, the risk management committee at board level responsible for setting the management guidelines, ensuring compliance and review this. The second one is ELCO is primarily responsible for credit rating robustness. This is आपका credit risk. This is done by the credit risk management committee, not by ELCO. The operational risk management committee involved in analyzing fraud, आपका this and the other areas. ठीक है, this is आपका true product or process excluding आपका credit related one. So it is clear, correct. The risk management department headed by CRO oversees the asset liabilities and others. This is also correct. The fifth one is ELCO set the base rate, MCLR, RLLR, other interest rate benchmark. This is also correct. So 1345. 1345 means option A only. Option A. So sir, why this always option D? A will be right answer for this one. Huh? So statement 2 is incorrect. Responsibilities आपका rating this comes to the credit risk management committee, and rest all are correct in this particular case itself, right? Then next one. Okay, one another question around the EWRM. So when it comes to this, EWRM is a continuous process. Wrong. EWRM include evaluating the existing risk management system process control in this. True hai. Third one is COSO ERM adopted by bank is like risk assessment activities, information communication. 8 elements are there. Out of 8 elements, few elements are correctly mentioned here. The next one, it only address the regulatory compliances. It cover the strategic and operational one also. EWRM management involve the selecting among the alternative risk responses, including avoidance, reduction, transfer, and acceptance. 2, 3, 5. 5. 2, 3, 5 means option D. Very good, guys. Option D will be right answer for this particular. Easy one, I guess. Next one. Two new business verticals are there. Vertical A, historically shown steady net cash flow of 10 lakh every year for the last 5 years. 10 lakh net cash flow from last 5 years. Vertical B, where we have volatility, high volatility. So variability in the net flows, 5 lakh, 15 lakh, आपका 7 lakh, 2 lakh -2 and 5 lakh over the same period, right? So this is आपका, here we have net cash flow of 10 lakh 5 years fixed, but here we have आपका such variability in the areas, right? So now the next one is both vertical require a capital investment of 50 lakh and generate a total return of 50 lakhs. Now both vertical require a capital investment of 50 lakh and generate a total आपका 50 lakh in 5 years. Now the another condition is saying कि they have generated आपका overall 50 lakh during this particular period. Risk modeling shows the probability of loss vertical B significantly high compared to B. This is true. Reason being it is high volatile, right? Senior management is considering using RAROC tool for the performance evaluation instead of ROA and ROE, which is they are doing correctly, because this will help you ROA and ROEs at the entire organization level, right? So this is आपका at the individual activity level. So the correct statement about this particular one. Do not go with these kind of probabilities, huh? They get 6 months to prepare one paper. IIBF people, they get 6 months to prepare one paper, huh? And now they nowadays they become very smart also. So capital allocation to B should be higher than आपका this 100%. B vertical A and B offer same return, so आपका the risk can be ignored while comparing them. No, we should go with A आपका if they are same return at high lower risk, right? If we are going for with B, so we should expect some higher return in that case. RAROC will help capture the impact of risk in evaluating both verticals आपका, that is to ROA and ROEs at the entire organization level, means which will cover these two as a single आपका, but here RAROC will be doing at transaction level, right? The next one we have vertical B can become equally acceptable as vertical A if it offer the higher return to compensate the higher risk. This is now it is true. Higher risk in business model justify higher capital allocation and expected return also. The next one is traditional ROE and more useful. No, this is wrong. Aapka. Comparing business model solely to total return is sufficient for the capital allocation decision. This is also wrong. So risk return trend आपका capital all we have to consider 1 3 4 5. 1 3 4 5 means option A will be right answer for this particular one, right? Prem sir, very late, huh? So option A will be right answer for this particular one. Clear, guys? Any confusion with any statement? All good? Next one. Okay. Now, the next unit we have unit number 12, risk in banking business. तो this we will be covering with the concept itself. Okay, so we will be discussing the concept areas also. So when it comes to the risk in banking business, so it include the business line आपका as per the BCBS classification. You remember, as per BCBS classification, Basel Committee on Banking Supervision, we have our activities are divided among 8 different part आपका, right? So 8 आपका different part. So 8, like the activities which we do, they are further categorized among 8 part. अब risk wise, these 8 business line risk wise, they are categorized among 3 part. These are आपका, first one is banking book, another one is trading book, and third one is आपका your off balance sheet exposure. तो 8 business line, 3 आपका risk wise categorization, then one introduction to the risk. Introduction to the risk, which include like market risk, operational risk, or credit risk, or the basic areas and others, which generally comes under this particular one, right? So when it comes to identification, आपका identification in business, so banking business line are many and varied. This, so BCBS, as per the BCBS categorization, so we have these 8 business line आपका. So first one is we have this is your first corporate finance. Okay, okay, you'll get confused, just follow this one. Okay, so we have corporate finance, the first one, which include activities like this is like all the activities what we do in what our bank do as a whole. They are, as per BCBS classification, they are categorized among 8 part. Ab risk wise आपका categorization will happen according to this, and this will also help you in case of then when you will charge the operational risk आपका, right? You remember those category 8 आपका categories, and 12%, 15% and 18% आपका beta factor we are using for those particular one, right? ओके ओके प्रेम साहब, चलो कॉर्पोरेट फाइनेंस आपका मर्जर एंड एक्विजिशन, अंडरराइटिंग, सिक्योरिटाइजेशन, रिसर्च एडवाइजरी, डेट आपका इक्विटी सिंडिकेशन इन दिस. व्हेन इट कम्स टू द अनदर वन, ट्रेडिंग एंड सेल्स, फिक्स्ड इनकम इक्विटी, foreign आपका exchange, commodities, we have credit fundings, property position in this, retail banking, which cover areas like retail deposit and lending, private banking services, trust and estate planning, card services. We have commercial banking, project finance, export related export finance, factoring, leasing, guarantee, bill of exchange, and others. The fifth one is your payment and settlement, external client, payment and collection, fund transfer, and this. Then we have sixth one is agency services, escrow, depository receipt, आपका corporate agency, issuer and payment agents team. Then asset management, discretionary and non-discretionary funds management, आपका pooled segregated, retail, instrumental, आपका equity, private equity investment. Then we have आपका retail brokerage, execution and full services brokerage part and others. So all the activities of a bank, they are further categorized among these these 8 different categories in others, right? This classification is done by BCBS. Now we have 8 categories. Risk wise, from the risk management point of view, banking business line may be grouped among 3 areas. One is आपका banking book, which deal with the deposit and advances. When it comes to your trading, which is we are having like proprietary position or on behalf of customers. Okay? So the trading position, buying and selling of securities. Then we have off balance sheet, the guarantee work and other things which is provided by the bank itself, right? Features, one question, this is highly expected, one question from this part. Many times we have experienced which of the following statement is correct or incorrect related to banking book or trading book and others. So you have to understand that particular one, right? So when it comes to banking book आपका, so it is आपका mostly held for maturity. The product type are generally in this particular case are held for maturity. Accrual system of accounting we apply here. Non आपका M2M, they are not M2M. They are not subject to mark to market, and this is subject to mark to market. Here we will discuss M2M also. So what is M2M? कैपिटल चार्ज आपका वी जनरली चार्ज फॉर क्रेडिट रिस्क, ठीक है, इंक्लूड आपका एडवांसेस, डिपॉजिट, बोरोविंग्स एंड अदर्स. नाउ व्हेन इट कम्स टू ट्रेडिंग बुक, buying and selling of securities, trading आपका buy sell of securities, it is M to M. So we have mark to market, means like the position, the open position which we have here. So on daily basis you have to maintain a report on M to M basis. Like let's say we have buy a security at 100 rupees, it went up at 110, still we have a open position, we haven't sell this particular one, so next day you have to account that particular one at 110. Then आपका next another day it came to 105, so you have to account on this one. So prices will change according to the market conditions, so accordingly we have to maintain the book also. Valuation of M to M will impact to the profit and loss. In case आपका there will be a profit of 10 rupees, and this case आपका there will be a loss of 5 rupees, this kind of things which generally happen in this case. Market, they are prone to market risk mostly. We have fixed income, equities, forex, commodities. Sometimes the derivative position for trading purpose also comes under this particular one. So when your treasury is entering into these kind of, otherwise mostly they get categorized under the off balance sheet exposure, right? So that is the one. Next one, off balance sheet exposure. Basically they are contingent in nature. Okay? Their recurrence is may or may not, right? So that's something which generally, sorry, I'm hiding the content here. So next one we have off balance sheet exposure. So it include आपका contingent liabilities like obligation contingent on an events like LC, आपका any deferred payment guarantee or any bank guarantee and others. Market exposure related to your derivative things, swap, future, forward options, और आपका contingent asset beneficiary right subject to contingencies आपका purchase insurance policies for those particular one, they generally comes under this, right? So banking book you आपका, then we have your trading book, and we have off balance sheet exposure, right? So please do remember these particular one question you can expect around this particular one. Done it? Now the next one is आपका banking risk definition. From the discussion आपका, we may summarize the risk into banking risk आपका and this. So basically we have different type of risk like liquidity risk, we have interest rate risk, we have market risk, default or operational risk. So when it comes to liquidity risk, it is something key when we won't be able to meet our obligations, right? In general आपका, अब now when you are studying liquidity risk in your credit आपका banking book, this is something which is related to your when we do not have enough money to pay off the liabilities itself. In market also sometimes we have situation of illiquid आपका, when there is no buyers for that particular security itself, we won't be able to convert or liquidate that security into cash partially or आपका complete illiquid also, right? Interest rate risk, any adverse movement or any changes in interest rate which is adversely impacting the overall portfolio of the bank. Like let's say you remember that embedded risk and others, like let's say आपका there is a change, let's say we have borrowed money and we have lent it, okay? We borrowed at suppose that 7% per annum for 5 years at a fixed rate. Up lending we have done suppose that आपका at the rate of 11%. So and it is supposed that for a same time horizon. So now we right now we have an NII of 4%. Your net interest income is 4%. What happened after 1 year? After 1 year, suppose that like it can be a case like we have given option to the customers. Let's say this side only. Suppose that both are at fixed rate. So interest rate first year NII was 4%. Next year interest rate increase in market from 7% to 9%. Now what this depositor will do, आपका they'll go for the premature and they'll shift their portfolio from 7 to 9%. Now you have given loan to customer at a fixed rate. So you cannot change this particular one to your NII. There is a notional loss of 2% in this case. So this is something, it is impacting our overall profitability by 2%. It can be this side also, like float आपका, where customer is having some sort of option to prepayments, right? So if they are having that option, if interest rate fall in the market, they'll go for this one, because you have raised money at fixed rate. Let's say interest rate came down to in market, it came down to 9%. Now that person, a borrower, will exercise their right, they'll shift from here to here, they'll go for the pre-closure. In that particular situation, again we will be losing आपका interest of this one. So this is something, interest rate, any adverse movement, any movement in interest rate आपका which is adversely impacting our portfolios and others. Market risk आपका, any adverse movement in market. डिफॉल्ट और आपका क्रेडिट रिस्क, तो डिफॉल्ट रिस्क, ऑब्लिगर रिस्क, बोरोवर रिस्क आपका, वेयर काउंटर पार्टी इज नॉट फुलफिलिंग देयर ऑब्लिगेशंस. ऑपरेशनल रिस्क आपका विच इज रिलेटेड टू डे ऑपरेशन इन अदर्स, राइट. तो विल ट्राई टू अंडरस्टैंड विद दिस वन. तो वी हैव लाइक लिक्विडिटी रिस्क, inability to meet the obligations, आपका इंटरेस्ट रेट रिस्क, एक्सपोजर टू रेट मूवमेंट्स आपका, एक्सपोजर टू रेट मूवमेंट, ठीक है. द एग्जाम्पल आई हैव गिवन यू, सो दैट इज समथिंग related to this particular one. Then we have market risk, M2M deviation in trading portfolio, adverse deviation, borrowers failure to pay, operational risk आपका, process or system, people failures and others. So अब now what will happen when will आपका, when we will be starting with the unit number 14 itself. So 14 onwards, all these type of risk we will be discussing आपका one by one, ठीक है. So they all will get discussed आपका one by one. So you do not have to worry around कि like because this entire module is only about the risk and others. So that will help in this case, ठीक है. अब now apart from these particular one, we have one another type of risk that is called model risk आपका, ठीक है. So model risk, right. So model risk is basically, it is आपका like we have developed a risk management process or some sort of software or others, whatever we are using, and there is, we have given some wrong instructions, so it will generate the wrong data. That means there is a failure of that particular one, right. So incorrect assumption, parameters that have become non-relevant or the existing one become non-relevant, ignored parameters आपका, simplification that miss the reality, statistical errors आपका, insufficient data point or wrong techniques, or judgment error, incorrect handling of the outcomes and others. So model risk are designed to predict आपका value of the variables for, sorry, model are designed to predict the value of variables for which it is specifically designed. We have created a system, and if we are putting the input, so it is after processing the data and it is providing us report. Based on these report, we are making a decision. But if there is something while we have designed this system, or if the data is available to the system is outdated, obviously it will generate the wrong report. So that is your model risk. So value is given आपका variable would depend upon one or more parameters which influence the value of the given variables. So these are the reason for your आपका model risk. So model risk is clear. Apart from this, we have climate risk also, right? Climate risk आपका. So when it comes to climate risk, this is same आपका climate change वाला climate, right? So when economy is going through any transition आपका, ठीक है? Like we are government is supporting आपका net zero carbon emission. So if you are having some sort of exposure with some companies who is manufacturing plastic, if government come up with some sort of restrictions, they'll आपका, there will be some sort of weakness in their credit worthiness. So that will affect आपका. So we have two type of things. One is physical. There is a flood आपका and we face some losses. There is a transition, the case which I have told you, right? So physical आपका risk like weather, climate changes, acute, sudden आपका events, flood and others, chronic, longer like sea level or accreditations and others. Then we have impact आपका assess damage affecting the borrower viability. Like we have given a loan to a restaurant owners in Himachal Pradesh. The flood came and that hotel went. So obviously it will impact the borrowers आपका paying capacity. And then आपका transition risk when we are shifting to low carbon economy and others, right? So this is policy valuation impact the subsidiaries, ठीक है, policy sorry valuation impact आपका subsidies and others, that is आपका energy transition or आप sentiments investor customer. Nowadays customer also prefer plastic free product and all of these kind of things, so they demand for these ones, so obviously they have to move according to this one. Operational risk आपका, when it comes to that operational risk ना, we have that event based and cause based. So it this आपका flood वाला things, that is branch specific, ठीक है. This is something which is customer specific, that is branch specific. We have a branch in remote place of Uttarakhand and there a flood came and it destroys some part of the branch asset. That is your आपका operational risk वाला. It is mostly customer specific कि where we are our customer is like they are facing some sort of challenges, this events आपका that happen due to these particular events आपका, there is some sort of impairment in the overall credit worthiness of that particular customer itself. So that is the differentiate and how you can differentiate that, right? Okay guys, chalo now let's start. So, which of the following statement about the banking business line and risk management are correct? Specialized finance in banking may include आपका structure financing such as project finance and corporate this आपका large and risky transaction, true है. Second one is आपका operational risk in banking primarily involve losses that are limited to monetary damage and rarely affect the bank reputation. No, they आपका does, right? And it is not limited to monetary damages. Sometime there some accident happen and we lost some आपका employee, so that is also case, right? The key objective is managing different business line is to enhance risk adjusted expected return, and management practices differ across the areas. 1 and 3 means आपका option A only will be right answer for this particular question, correct है guys? Next one. So I know like till 10:30 you guys will become like bit slow, so I have kept some easy question. We'll just make a momentum, then we'll enter into the bigger question also, huh? So as आपका banking book, so asset and liabilities in banking book are normally held until maturity and subject to, they are not subject to M2M. They are not subject to M2M. This is wrong. The second one is the accrual system of accounting is applied in banking book. True है. The banking book attract capital charge primarily on credit risk and not on the market risk. 1, 2 and 3. 2 and 3 means option B will be right answer for this particular one. Next one guys. Trading book आपका, trading book. Next one, trading book. So asset and trading book are generally held until maturity. No. So they are mostly आपका be held for trade. ठीक है, it is आपका M2M valuation is performed regularly and changes are recorded in profit and loss account. 100% true. Trading book include derivative held for trading and hedging purposes. Yes. Take a 2 and 3. 2 and 3 means again option B will be right answer for this particular one. Next one guys. Off balance sheet exposures. Off balance sheet exposure. So off balance sheet exposure are contingent liabilities such as guarantee, letter of credit, which become fund based exposure only at the time of crystallization. Customer fail to this one, right? That contingency occurs. Second one is derivative like this are off balance sheet exposure. Off balance sheet, see, like if it is a normal or plain statement कि derivative are part of off balance sheet आपका off balance sheet off balance sheet exposure, answer is yes. And or even if the derivative are part of the trading book, in general it is no आपका, right? So if it is specifically mentioned, if there is a comparison आपका specifically mentioned around that, then only go for this one, right? So off balance sheet exposure do not carry any risk, they does, right? So 1 2 means option A will be right answer for this one. So like they can be converted into आपका fund based facility. Liquidity risk आपका, okay, liquidity risk. So liquidity risk arise primarily from funding long-term asset with short-term liabilities, exposing bank to roll over the refinance or refinancing. You remember that key drivers for liquidity risk, right? Internal or external. There is a one chart आपका ठीक है. In liquidity risk only it will come, right? Funding risk आपका occur when bank fail to replace net outflow due to unexpected withdrawal or the premature of closures, right? That is also true. The funding risk is unexpected. The case we have discussed also, right? Unexpected withdrawal or premature आपका closures and others, right? The third one is the time risk when inflow of the performing asset delayed. Like this is आपका the time risk is when expected inflow from the performing asset are delayed but not impact the bank liquidity, no, but impact the bank liquidity up. Even if it will get delayed, it will impact, right? So this is something ki, like what happened, let's say we have borrowed for 2 years and we have created an asset for 5 years. At the time when we have done this, in different time horizon, there are some assets which are getting mature at the end of second year. Okay, in different time horizon, some asset which we have created in past which are getting mature at the end of second year. So we have a plan in mind ki आपका this 3 year gap we will fulfill through that particular asset. One, like the most preferable situation is कि this depositor will renew the fund with us. If he do not renew that particular one, so there are, we will arrange from other sources, we'll accept or more deposit from market, or else there are some assets which are getting mature on that particular date, we will take this particular one from we will use that fund to finance or to pay off this B liability. Now what happened, time risk is basically there is one X asset आपका which with which we have planned this one, but this X asset become आपका non-performing asset or there was some delay. So that is something आपका case of this. So 1 and 2 means आपका C should be right answer for this particular one. Correct guys? Understood? Next one. So physical risks are limited to sudden natural disasters such as flood, heat wave. In gradual climate changes are also there, right? The second one is transition risk arise due to government policies, technological innovation, and change in this. Yes, true. Hai. Impact of physical risk varies by the geography and आपका affect borrower ability to repay loan due to damage to the asset and this to 2 and 3. Option B will be right answer for this particular one. Correct, guys? Next one. Okay, chalo. Now one another set आपका. Let's quickly practice one another set. Okay, sorry. Asset and liabilities held in banking book are generally not subject to M2M valuation. Maturity mismatch between asset and liabilities in banking book primarily give rise to liquidity risk. Changes in interest rate affecting the asset and liability of banking book influenced by the influence the आपका बैंक NIM and constitute आपका interest rate risk. Credit risk in banking book arise mainly from the adverse. This is market risk आपका, ठीक है. Credit risk is आपका basically default. Operational failure आपका system breakdowns and others. Operational risk 1 2 3 5. 1 2 3 5 means option A only will be right answer for this one, right? Yes, very good, guys. Next one. हाँ, ओके ओके, श्रीकांत सर. So the assets in the trading book are generally held until maturity to earn the contractual income. This is आपका banking book. Trading book position are marked to market on daily or periodic basis with gain or losses impacting to this. Third one is derivative instruments for trading and hedging are part of the trading book. The next one is your instruments with low market demands and trading volume in the trading book are exposed liquidation risk after. Off balance sheet exposure involve immediate cash outflow. Wrong here. Off balance sheet exposure may convert into fund based exposure, may subsequently from the part of this one. True here. Then next one, your trading book आपका exposures are, you got this second line subsequently from the part of the either in trading in this, like let's say LC or that आपका derivative counterparty. Trading book exposure are subject not only to the market risk but also to the credit and operational risk. That is also true. So 2 3 4 6 7 2 3 4 6 7 no 2 3 4 6 7. Option D must be right answer for this particular one. D, guys, D. Rani ma'am, D. 2. Why 1 2 4 6? Okay, many wrong answers. Only two people answer and both aapka answer wrong. 1 2 4 6 is no. First statement is wrong. Asset in trading book are generally intended to held for maturity. Yeah, trading book is your आपका held for trade. आपका to earn contractual interest, आपका income and others. That is a feature of your banking book. Srikant sir. And Rani ma'am is saying 2 3 4 7. 2 3 4 7. हाँ, 6 is also correct. ठीक है. अच्छा, okay, sorry. Options were not visible क्या? Okay. हाँ, sorry sir. Grace marks. हाँ, everyone will get grace marks. Sorry, I thought like Before answering, you should tell this, na? Then only you'll be eligible for grace marks. Now, in this situation, you won't be get this grace marks things, right? Chalo. Next one, guys. Next one. Next one. So sudden withdrawal and non-renewal of bulk deposit expose bank to आपका funding risk. Delay in EMI from borrowers आपका it is generally categorized as time risk. Just now we discussed this. Third one is invocation of guarantee. It is call risk, 100% true. Inability to take advantages of profitable lending opportunities despite of adequate capital indicate market risk rather than the liquidity. No, it is basically opportunity cost we are doing, right? So it is आपका, this should not come under this risk wala thing, I guess. Raising funds at high rate than normal to meet the आपका cash flow obligation is liquidity shortfall. That is true. 1 2 3 5 1 2 3 5 1 2 3 5 means option C should be right answer for this particular one, right? Inability to undertake profitable business due to lack of liquid funds is आपका manifestation of liquidity risk. It is generally get categorized under that particular one. Right. Next one, guys. Nice question. So the bank exposed to basis risk आपका changes in repo loan affect the yield immediately while the deposit cost आपका remain fixed, right? So if there will be any adverse movement in change interest आपका, because you have borrowed money at fixed rate, and if there will be changes in these two, it will impact the use of 91 days आपका treasury bill link liability to fund this expose bank to yield curve आपका. If yield curve is if both the instruments are not moving in a same direction, right? So that is आपका, that is also correct. A decline in repo rate will automatically increase the bank net interest margin since deposit are at the fixed rate. Decline will not help bank आपका, right? Decline will decrease the overall earning आपका. It will decrease, not increase NIM. The presence of callable and prepayable loan increase the embedded option risk. That is called embedded option risk. Where if buyer exercise that particular one or holder means depositor or the borrowers, so it will impact the bank adversely, right? Since bank has more earning asset than the paying liabilities, a fall in market interest rate will adversely affect the NIM also, NII also, right? fall in आपका interest rate will impact the NII, net interest income आपका. The differences in the repricing frequency between the asset and liability eliminate the gap or the mismatch risk. It creates the gap or mismatch risk. Volatile interest rate movements may reduce bank projected cash flow due to premature withdrawals and this आपका true. So 12457, 12457, option A only is the right answer. Now I'll see your answer. Option C, C, B. What is this, guys? I guess brain is not working now. Okay, no worries. These all things will get aapka repeated. In tomorrow's session only, all these will get repeated. They'll come aapka again and again. Right. Next one. Next one. Default or credit risk, including its variations such as counterparty risk and country risk. So the credit risk arises when a borrower or counterparty fail to meet obligations as per the agreed term, like in case of derivatives and others, right? So that is the case. True hai. Loan and corporate bonds constitute the significant sources of the credit risk for the bank, especially that downgrade risk. You remember the downgrade risk? Okay, let's say we have invested in a bond of any company. After 2 years, the company financial, they are facing some sort of crisis. So their bond, आपका rating will come down. Counterparty risk is a form of credit risk mainly associated with unsecured interbank transactions such as call money. This is also true आपका ठीक है. And even in derivative forward contract, not ETD आपका ठीक है. OTC contract of derivative also. And money, call money or money market transaction are also collateral free. So here also it can be. The next one, counterparty risk is treated as long-term structural risk similar to, no, this is wrong. Counterparty risks are due to restrictions or constraint imposed by the, sorry, country risk आपका, this one true. 1 2 3 5, 1 2 3 5 means option B will be right answer for this one. B 3 5 1 2 2 is also correct. आपका कुटे sir, 2 is also correct. 2 is loan and corporate bond constitute the significant आपका sources of credit risk in bank, ठीक है, mostly because like even if you compare it with the आपका retail loan and others ना, तो there are 1,000 retail loans equal to 1 corporate loans, right? And that is equally impacting the areas and all. So that is something what generally comes under this one. Next one, guys. Operational risk defined by BCBS. Now when it comes to operational risk by BCBS ना, please do remember one thing कि that reputation risk आपका ठीक है, or like it is what it is called, not the strategic failure and others, they are not part of this one basically. So operational risk arise due to failure of internal process, people, system, or due to external event. This is the exact definition of your operational risk by BCBS. Strategic risk and reputational risk are expressly included. No, this is the line up here. It is excluded from the BCBS definition. The next one, operational risk broadly cover all the risks that do not fall under the market risk and this. The next one is आपका transaction risk. Transaction risk arise आपका internal fraud or failed or process or inability. Yes, true है. The next one is compliance risk of the risk of losses arising only from monetary penalty imposed by this. No, this should be wrong, right? compliance risk आपका which lead to your reputation losses and others, that is also part of the one, right? So compliance risk is also integrity risk and आपका reputation. हाँ, this is 100% true. The next one is reputational risk generally crystallize as consequences of credit market, and this आपका this is also true. So 1 3 4 6 7 1 3 4 6 7 again option A क्या? Option A, yes, very good guys, well done. So option A, that is आपका the right answer for this particular one. Next one, any statement, please do let me know. Huh? So I'll explain that particular one, try to give some examples. Now the concept, causes and control of model risk. Okay, the next question is basically based on the model risk. Model risk arise when there is a difference between value predicted by model and the value actually observed in the real market, right? Pricing model and risk measurement model are extensively used in market risk management and are therefore significant sources of the model risk. Model risk can occur due to incorrect or outdated assumptions, omission, relevant parameters in आपका this true है. Fourth one is in pricing model. Model risk primarily affect the bank profitability, while the risk measurement impact the assessment also. Yes. Uh, Model validation and backtesting should preferably be conducted by the same team. No, they should done by the different team. So if there is any lag, we can find out those one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 means option D. How come A, guys? I can see. Like only Rani ma'am marked option D आपका. Otherwise, line wise, everyone is saying option. This model validation and backtesting should preferably conducted by the same team it is mentioned. Okay? What happened? I have done something. If I'll only review, I won't be able to find out the mistake in that particular job done. Right? If someone else should be, acha, D is now D is visible, huh? Option D on तो top पे है हाँ सुभाष सर so you mark D, where you mark D, अच्छा you mark D, अच्छा okay, sorry हाँ so D, so this is the, you got it guys, you got this one, Elvin sir, you got this one. So option D, that's why it is right answer. Validation and backtesting must be carried out by the independent personnel who are not involved in the development itself, and rest all are fine here, right? Next one. So climate related risk affect the financial sector mainly through the physical risk and transition risk. True है. Acute physical risk arise from gradual. No, they are chronic, I guess, right? It should be wrong here, right? The extreme events like the flood and other wala case, right? Um, acute आपका this and C div. This is आपका, this should be related to the gradual changes वाला case ना, right? The chronic आपका chronic risk are associated with long term shift आपका. This is about the chronic risk. This is true. The next one is the impact of physical risk varies across the region, geography, and this true है. Physical risk can be weaken the financial stability and damage the collateral of the borrowers. True है. The next one is transition risk primarily arise due to natural disaster caused by the क्लाइमेट चेंज आपका transition risk primarily arise due to natural disaster caused by the climate change. No, transition was around the economic reforms or the policy like adoption of net zero carbon emission, right? That is the one. Changes in climate policies, technological innovation and shift in this are then another आपका transition risk, right? So 13457 means option A will be right answer for this particular one. So sir, option A, yes. Rani ma'am, option A, that is the right answer for this particular. Next one. Okay, this is it. So till unit 12 आपका we have done today. Now morning I'll see you and we will discuss आपका unit 13 onwards, right? So unit 13 आपका, then the remaining concept part also. Anyhow, tomorrow we have to complete आपका module B. ठीक है? So tomorrow anyhow we have to finish this module itself, module B. Then C and D आपका one day, and then आपका one revision also around the concept and others. All right. So I'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock, guys. This is it from my side. Thank you for joining the session. Thank you for your participation. See you tomorrow, and I'll upload the PDF for module A, remaining part आपका today only. B I'll upload आपका jointly, ठीक है? Or else I'll upload this particular one. Just allow me 15 to 20 or half an hour. After dinner I'll upload these particular one. And the recordings are already uploaded in the live section. So do not wait आपका, right? And I'll import those particular one in the recording folder also, right? So yes, Manoj sir, this should be आपका enough. Like we are going through in detail आपका, ठीक है? Morning, Suhas sir, that same time, 7 o'clock only we will be doing, ठीक है? 7 o'clock only we will be doing आपका, right? I have already scheduled, I guess. Okay, you will see the schedule for the next 4-5 days, right? So 7 o'clock only we have done, right? So it should be enough आपका, Manoj sir. Just whenever you get time आपका, please keep revising these things. Okay guys, so this is it from my side. Thank you for joining this session. Thank you for watching this session. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye. Take care all.